A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Hello. Are you there? Well, we're here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ways better. Swan soap.
Yes, sir. Swan, the new white floating soap, 8 ways better than old-style floating soaps, presents Paul Whiteman. Your Swanee announcer, Bill Goodwin. A singer, if we can find one. And well-eyed Swan. Here are the stars of our show, George Burns and Gracie Alice.
Hello, George Burns speaking. What? Yes, Mrs. Burns is home. Gracie, it's for you.
Oh, thanks. Hello. Who? Oh, hello. I've got some wonderful news for you. George and I are going to work on our new radio program today. What? Oh, thanks. Well, we've been just as worried about it as you have. Well, it's been awfully nice of you to call us every day. Goodbye.
Who's that?
The telephone company.
What are they worried about? They'll get paid. Well, Gracie, we've got to get to the studio. Where's my shirt?
George, don't walk in front of that window in your underwear. You know how snoopy those people are who live next door.
Oh, the last photos, huh?
Yes, they're always sneaking around and peeking in our windows.
Oh, I think that's awful.
Well, it certainly is. And to tell you the truth, you don't look as nice in your underwear as Mr. Lastfogel.
Gracie, please, I've got to find my shirt. Where's that maid? Hilda! Hilda!
Yeah, Mr. George Burns.
Where's my shirt? Hilda, where's my shirt? Gracie, why doesn't she answer me?
It's her day off.
If it's her day off, what is she doing here?
She lives here.
And she gets paid here, too, a fine maid. When you want her, it's her day off.
Oh, now I think you're very mean to stand here and say things like that behind Hilda's back.
Behind her back?
Yeah, she's looking out of the window.
Oh. Hilda, what are you laughing at?
Doesn't Mr. Lastfogel look funny in his underwear?
I'll bet it's the one with the green stripes.
Get away from there, Hilda, and get out. He does look funny at that. What is that?
That's Mr. Lastfogel laughing at you.
Well, pull down that shade. We'll never get to the studio. Gracie, throw me my shoes.
Here they are.
Oh, well, I hope our show gets over. It'll be the first time we ever did a show without a singer.
Oh, you're just saying that because you don't know Jimmy.
Jimmy?
Yeah.
Who's Jimmy?
The singer I signed.
You signed the singer?
Why not? He knows how to write.
Gracie, since when have you become a talent scout?
Well, I used to be a Girl Scout, and I figured if a girl could be a Girl Scout, a talent can be a talent scout.
You figured that out yourself?
Sure.
Well, there's quite a difference. Talent scout looks for talent, and the Girl Scout...
Looks for girls.
Yeah, looks for girls, yeah.
Hey. Imagine that John Barrymore Girl Scout.
Gracie, I don't want to get excited, but who is the singer?
Well, his name is Jimmy Cash. I met him in a grocery store.
You mean he was buying groceries?
No, he was selling them.
You signed the grocery clerk?
Uh-huh.
What kind of a voice has he got? Is he a baritone? Is he a tenor?
Well, I don't know. I didn't hear him sing.
You didn't hear him sing?
Uh-uh.
Well, then how do you know he had a good voice?
Well, I knew it the minute I heard him. He said, a pound of cheese for Mrs. Breeze.
A pound of cheese for Mrs. Breeze? What did he do for an encore?
He sold some fish to Mrs. Gish.
Well, of all the imbecilic things to do, going into a grocery store and... Well, here's the doorbell. I wonder who that can be.
Well, maybe it's Hilda's boyfriend, Olaf Sven. She's got a date with him.
Why doesn't she answer the door?
It's her day off.
I suppose I'll have to answer it. Just a minute. I'm putting on my robe.
Good evening, Mr. Burns. I am Ola.
I know. Come right in. So you're Hilda's boyfriend?
Hudson.
Hudson, huh? Well, that's all I needed. That's a smart 5-button suit you've got on, Olaf.
Yeah, it's a little tight around the brawler.
Oh, I think I get it. Brawler suit.
Hudson.
Yes. Well, sit down. I'll call Hilda.
Whoop.
What was that?
My riddle.
I'll go in the kitchen and Hilda will sew it for you.
Hudson.
Oh, go with that, Hudson. Gracie.
Here I am, putting on my hat.
Look, while I go and look for a shirt, will you phone Paul Whiteman and Bill Goodwin and you tell them that we're leaving?
All right.
Number, please.
Operator, will you get me Paul Whiteman at the Hollywood Plaza Hotel and Bill Goodwin at our radio studio at the same time? Well, I want to tell them the same thing, and it's silly to make 2 calls. Don't you think so?
I have both your parties. Go ahead, Miss Allen.
Hello?
Hello, this is Bill Goodwin. Who's this?
You just told me it's Bill Goodwin. Now, guess who this is?
Hello, this is Paul Whiteman. Why did you call me, Gracie?
I didn't call you Grace. You called you Paul.
Aha, this is Gracie Allen.
It is? Well, if you're Gracie Allen, who am I?
Look, I'm Paul Whiteman.
Oh, I'm certainly happy you're going to be on our program.
Well, thanks, Gracie, and I'm happy, too, because that new Swan soap is such a swell product. Gosh, it's 8 ways better than old-style floating soaps. I can't wait to tell the people about it.
Well, I'm glad you're so excited.
Well, why shouldn't I be? You'd be, too, when you hear my new trumpet player. When he blows that horn, you should see just what comes out.
Suds, and more suds. That's what you get from Swan. Why, Swan suds twice as fast.
Gee, it sounds great.
It's terrific, and what an arrangement I've doped up.
Well, you just can't beat it. Break it in 2 and use half for the kitchen and half for the bath. Swan makes any soap and water job lots more fun.
Really?
Boy, my music will set your feet a-moving.
And it's easy on your hands, too. Why, Swan is pure, as mild as the finest imported Castile soaps. Try it in your shower or tub.
With a bass fiddle slapping out a good hot chorus.
In a green wrapper with a white swan on the front.
My, that sounds exciting and pretty and confusing.
Gracie, are you still on the phone?
Oh, well, goodbye, boys. See you at the studio.
Well, I'm all dressed. Let's hurry. You ready?
Oh, wait, I'll look in the mirror. Hat and vest, that's right. 2 stockings, that's right. 3 shoes, that's right. My gloves.
3 shoes?
Yeah, that's right. My gloves.
3 shoes?
Well, sure. It's much safer to put your money in your shoe than it is to put it in your purse.
So you take along an extra shoe?
Certainly.
You're going to carry it in your hand?
No, in the purse.
Well, that's a smart idea. Well, come on, let's go. Wait a minute. Am I silly or am I silly? I forgot to put on my suspenders. Gracie, where are my suspenders?
Oh, come on, George. That'll only hold things up. Let's go.
Well, all right. I'll get a pair on the way.
And now, the daddy of them all, the father of modern dance music, Paul Whiteman, playing 3 Blind Mice. Take it, Pops.
together on the Swan Show, and believe me, I'm thrilled.
Ah, thanks, George, and that goes double for me.
Oh, please, Paul. This is a soap program. You mean that goes bubble for me?
Gracie's right, George.
Yeah, but only this time. Listen to this, Paul. Gracie went into a grocery store, and what do you think she came back with?
I don't care what it is. Just drag it out, brother. I'm starved.
You don't understand, Paul. Gracie went into a grocery store, hired a grocery clerk as a singer on our program.
You said it. When there's something to be done, I do it.
Oh, yes, and fast.
I don't sit and let grass grow under my feet.
Well, never mind. Don't bother with it, Gracie.
There's nothing to get excited about, George. I once hired a trumpet player for $300 a week, and he couldn't play a note. I worried for months, but it turned out okay.
How?
I lost 85 pounds.
Well, off you, it looks good.
Say, Paul, what'd you do with your old suits?
I subdivided them.
You subdivided them?
Yes, each suit made 10 bundles for Britain.
Well, Gracie, will you take the phone? He subdivided them. That's the silliest thing Gracie, take the phone.
Got it. What do you want me to do with it?
Take the receiver off the hook and answer it.
Yeah, oh.
Oh, it's a new invention.
Hello? Oh, hello. George, it's Jimmy Cash.
Well, as long as you've got him signed, tell him to hurry over. I'd like to hear him sing.
George says to come right over. What, Jimmy? Really? Oh, well, I'm thrilled for you, too, Jimmy. George is so excited he can't talk.
Well, he should be.
Imagine selling rhubarb to Hedy Lamarr.
You don't know what that means to me.
What's that, Jimmy? Really beautiful, huh? Oh, not that gorgeous. Oh, we'll see for ourselves when you get to the broadcast.
He's bringing Hedy Lamarr?
No, the rhubarb.
Oh, Gracie, tell him to get over here.
Jimmy, George says to... What, Jimmy? Oh, all right. Goodbye, Jimmy. He can't leave until he sells 20 more pounds of potatoes.
Gracie, this whole thing is ridiculous. You can't find a singer in a grocery store.
Oh, no. That's the trouble with having brains. People tell us geniuses, you can't do this and you can't do that. They told Eli Whitney the same thing, but he went ahead and invented the electric light anyhow.
Gracie, in the first place, there was no electric light in Eli Whitney's time.
There must have been. How could he invent it in the dark?
All right, so he invented the electric light and the light, and let's forget the whole thing.
Well, sure, after all, the electric light isn't so important. It isn't half as important as the button.
It's the button, yes.
Because if you couldn't press the button, you wouldn't get the light.
The light, I guess. Yes.
Then if you didn't have a light, you
couldn't find the button. I knew that was coming. Gracie, what I'm trying to explain is this, you see.
So I really think Eli Whitney deserves all the credit.
As long as you're giving out credits, what about Whitney's mother?
A beautiful painting.
I'll tell Whistler's father when he comes in. And answer the phone, Bill, will you?
Okay, George. Hello? Gracie, it's for you.
Heck. Hello? Oh, hello, Jimmy. What? Oh, I see.
Oh, he's on his way, huh?
No, he still has to sell 10 more pounds of potatoes.
Will you tell him to get over here right away?
George says you better get over here right away. What? Well, of course that's more important. George, he's cleaning out a pickle barrel.
He's cleaning out a pickle barrel?
Now, don't forget you're going to sing in our program tonight, Jimmy. Mine, your voice sounds so lovely, too. So nice and deep. What? Oh, you're in the barrel.
Oh.
Well, see you later. Goodbye.
Everything happens to me. Jimmy Cash is supposed to sing here or no Jimmy Cash. Gracie, you'll have to take his place.
Well, Judge, I don't know anything about selling potatoes.
I don't mean that.
Well, I'm certainly not going to get into a pickle barrel.
I don't mean that either. You'll have to sing for cash.
Gee, that's the first time I ever got paid.
Well, all right, Gracie. Go ahead and sing.
Seems that I've been running round in circles ever since I saw the light of day. But you're busy keeping me busy in a sort of kind of different way. Coming and going, I'm all in a daze. I'm coming and going in dozens of ways. And darling, here's the reason why my heart walked out when you walked by. Is it December or maybe it's May? 'Cause I don't remember the time of the day. You gave my little world a spin. The lights went out when you came in. It's an early autumn for spring in the fall. Gee, I'm mixed up with love and all. Maybe it would help if I started again. Now let me see, where was I when? Coming and going, I better confess. My heart's overflowing 'cause you whispered yes. Just goes to show what love can do. I've been coming and going since I met you. Coming and going places I've never been to before. Walking in empty spaces and I bang on every door. You got to doing all you command, like a cake of swan in the palm of your hand. Every time you're near me, my brain is nil. Guess I better leave you. On second thought, I will. There goes the cuckoo and go and grin. Mister, that's where I came in. Coming and going, I better confess. My heart's overflowing 'cause you whispered yes. Just goes to show what love can do when I don't know if it's snowing. The way the wind is blowing, if I'm coming or I'm going with you.
Gracie, that was really swell.
Well, where's the money?
A little later, yeah.
Say, excuse me, Gracie, there's a couple outside to see you. The girl says her name is Hilda.
George, that must be Hilda.
Yeah, it would be a bit surprised if it's Hilda.
I wouldn't either.
Oh, please, Gracie, go find out what you
All
want.
right.
Oh, Gracie, there's a fellow with her, and his name is Olaf Swan.
Bill, it's Sven, not Swan.
I talked him out of it.
Well, nice talking. Talk them out of it. And answer the phone.
Okay. Hello? What? Oh, no, but I'll take a message for her. Oh, okay. Goodbye.
Who was that?
George, it's Jimmy Cash. He'll be here as soon as he sells 5 more pounds of potatoes.
Well, that's fine.
Say, George, listen, maybe you're getting upset over nothing. You know, this kid may turn out to be something great.
You mean Gracie just walks into a grocery store and just like that discovers something great, huh?
Well, sure.
Bill, you can't find anything great in a grocery store.
Oh, now, wait a minute, George. You can't talk that way about Swan Soap.
Swan soap? Who's talking about Swan soap?
Now, look, didn't you just say that you can't walk into a grocery store and find something great?
Yeah, but...
Oh, so Swan Soap isn't great,
I didn't say that.
Why, listen, it's the greatest white floating soap you ever saw. Swan gives you a rich, creamy lather even in the hardest water. It's pure, ideal for the baby.
Bill,
it's the most wonderful...
Bill, will you listen to me? You're beginning to act just like Gracie.
And what's wrong with Gracie? A fine guy you are talking about your wife behind her back.
Now, look, Bill, let's start all over again. Forget Jimmy Cash. Forget Gracie. Forget Swan soap.
Forget Swan? Why, Swan is the kind of soap you can't forget.
I know that,
It
but...
smells so fresh and clean.
I know that.
It feels so nice and smooth.
I know that, but...
It's firmer than old-style floating soaps. And Swan lasts and lasts and lasts. You get more real soap for your money.
I know that, Bill. Now, just keep calm.
Now, just try Swan. Look for the green wrapper with the white swan on the front. What a soap.
Bill, I said you win. Now, calm down. Swan is wonderful. Gracie is wonderful. Jimmy Cash is wonderful.
How do you know? Have you ever heard him sing?
Well, no.
Well, then how can you be such a dope and sign a guy you never even heard?
I didn't sign him.
Yes, you did.
Gracie signed him. Oh, forget it, Paul. Will you answer the phone?
Hello. Hello, what? Okay, kid, I'll tell her.
What is it, Paul?
The singer will be here as soon as he sells 8 more pounds of potatoes.
8 more pounds? He just said 5.
Well, a customer brought back 3 pounds.
I can't make my mind up which I hate more, Jimmy Cash or potatoes.
George, if you're worried about a singer, I've got a kid in my band who plays the guitar, and he's not bad.
Now, look, Paul, not me. I had a South American guitar player last year, and he gave me a headache all season.
But this kid's great.
Well, who is he?
Que no te acuerdas de mí, yo estaba el año pasado cantando muy bien, gusté mucho, ¿te acuerdas?
Oh,
Yo soy...
fine. Paul, give me an aspirin.
¿Para qué necesitas una aspirina?
Look,
Porque no...
Senor Lee, I don't want to have any trouble with you again this season.
Now, wait, Senor Burns. My very handsome, intelligent, talented young man. And boy, am I carrying the good neighbor policy too far. I am a singer.
Senor, I heard you sing. And you're not the type I'm looking for.
Why not? During this summer, I had my own radio program in Mexico. I called myself the Lone Ranger.
Well, that's not very original.
Oh, but I was much more up to date. When I came on the air, I hollered, "Hi-ho, aluminum!"
Paul, I'll talk to you later about that guitar player.
I even sang in opera.
I know, but I'm looking for a different type.
I made my big hit in the Barber of Barcelona.
Barcelona?
Si, senor.
You mean the barber of Seville?
Well, business was so good, he opened up a branch.
Senor Lee, this year, leave me alone and just pick on your guitar, will you? I've got my own troubles. Gracie, did you see Hilda and Olaf?
Hot stuff.
Well, she saw them.
What? Senor Lee, what are you doing here?
Imagínate que contrataron otro cantante después de todo lo que yo gusté el año pasado. ¿Qué te parece eso?
Oh, so what? A lot of people bet on the Dodgers.
Never mind. Gracie, what did you do with Hilda?
Well, I put her in the audience. There she is in the fourth row. Wave to her.
I'm waving to her. Hello, Hilda. Gracie, she's not waving back.
It's her day off.
Oh, it's her.
Gracie, while you were outside, that singer from the grocery store called and said he'd be right over.
Thanks, Paul.
Gracie, what kind of a voice has this new discovery of yours got?
Well, when I first heard him, he sounded like he had a mouthful of potato chips.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But that was maybe because he did have a mouthful of potato chips.
Sounds like he's got a voice that'll hit you right smack dab in the eye.
It did.
George, I'll take back the aspirin.
The aspirin, I thought so. Gracie, what Paul means is what kind of a voice has he got? What does he sound like?
Oh, well, why didn't you say that? Did you ever hear the Merrimax?
Uh-huh.
Well, he sounds like Max.
He sounds like Max?
Well, sure. He's not a girl. He couldn't very well sound like Mary.
Oh, the Mary Max.
Sure, you guessed it.
I made something up, I guess, yes. Came to me like a flash. Yes. Look, the Mary Max happen to be 4 people. Can you compare them with one person?
Oh, sure. Bing Crosby.
Now, Gracie, stay that way and don't let your mind wander. Jimmy Cash sings like Bing Crosby.
They're exactly alike.
Well, good.
Of course, Jimmy's low notes aren't as round as Bing's, but then again, Bing's rolled oats aren't as brown as Jimmy's.
Bing's rolled oats aren't as brown as Jimmy?
That's a pretty silly question, George.
I'll admit that.
Well, wait a minute. Maybe I can think of a silly answer.
Oh, quiet.
Say, stop kicking Crosby around like that. You know, he was my discovery.
Oh, well, we know that, Paul. Come in.
I sold the potatoes.
Well, finally arrived, folks. So, you're Jimmy Cash.
Oh, that's Jimmy Cash. You're looking at the rhubarb.
Oh. Pardon me, that's my
Now, Jimmy, I want you to meet everybody. This is Paul Weichman, and this is Bill Goodwin.
I'm George Burns.
You'll have to await your turn, sir.
You're not in a grocery store.
Now, George, he's my discovery, and I want to talk to him.
You'll talk to him later. Now, come here, kid. Now, don't get nervous. There's nothing to get nervous about. Did you ever sing before?
Yes, sir.
In theaters?
No, sir.
On the radio?
No, sir.
Where, sir? Where did you sing?
At sociables?
At sociables? At sociables, huh? Well, let me hear you sing.
I'm nervous in front of a crowd, sir.
Paul, give me back the aspirin.
Yes, sir.
But there's nothing to be nervous about,
No, Jimmy, look at that audience. Why, they love you. Well, just look at all those friendly faces.
Well, what about that woman out there?
Where?
The one who's sleeping.
Hilda, will you get up?
Please, George. You know it's her day off.
Well, all right, Hilda, go back to sleep again. Gracie, you'll never get this kid to sing.
Yes, I will. Now, just leave it to me. Come here, Jimmy. Now, go ahead and sing. MGM might hear you, and overnight you'll be a star. And in the morning you're married to Lana Turner. Now, go ahead and sing. Start, Paul.
The kid won't open his mouth, huh? Try Betty Grable.
Oh, Betty Grable or Ann Sheridan. Go ahead, Jimmy, sing.
It's probably holding out for baby Sandy, I guess.
Please. Now, Jimmy, you like being a grocery salesman, don't you?
I certainly do.
Now, how would you like to be the greatest grocery salesman in the world?
Gee, would I?
Well, tomorrow I'm coming into your store, and I'm going to buy 28,000 pounds of potatoes.
Oh, boy. So to sweet romance, there is just one answer. You and I. Poet and musician sing the same old tune to the sweethearts that come and go. Let your intuition, aided by the moon, tell you little things the poet doesn't know. Darling, you and I know the reason why the summer sky is blue. And we know why birds in the trees sing melodies too, and why love will grow from the first hello until the last goodbye. So to sweet romance, there is just one answer. You and I.
Jimmy, I'm so proud of you. You were really wonderful.
Well, he certainly was. And, Gracie, I take my hat off to you, too.
Oh, thanks.
Mr. Burns, can I go now? There's somebody waiting.
Who, your sweetheart?
No, a customer for the rhubarb. Goodbye.
Wait a minute. Say, Jimmy.
Oh, Judge, don't worry. Don't worry. I've got him signed. I made him put his John Henry right on the dotted line. Here's the contract.
Well, that's great, Gracie. I hereby agree to work for George Burns and Gracie Allen for the entire season. Signed, John Henry. John Henry? His name is Jimmy Cash.
Well, sure. As I said before, I don't sit and let the grass grow under my feet. When things are done, I do them, and I always know when people got to do it.
Remember, folks, buy Swan, try Swan. See for yourself if Swan isn't really 8 ways better than old-style floating soaps.
Well, Gracie, the show is over.
Oh, I'm sure nervous.
Well, Cass, you're all invited to come over to the house and have something to eat.
Oh, please, Judge. You know it's Hilda's day off.
Oh, yes, I forgot that.
Well,
yes.
come on, let's go.
What's your hurry?
I've got to cook dinner for Hilda.
Oh, for Hilda. Good night, folks.
Lever Brothers, the makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in again next week, same time. Until then, this is Phil Goodwin saying, well, hi, Swan. Why don't you?
This is the Red Network of the National Broadcasting Company.
KFI, Los Angeles.
Hello? Are you there? Well, we're here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ways better. Swan soap.
Jester, Swan, the new white floating soap, 8 ways better than old-style floating soaps, presents Paul Whiteman. Your Swanee announcer, Bill Goodwin. Our singer, Jimmy Cash. Well, I Swan. Here are the stars of our show, George Burns and Gracie Allen. And now, let's go to George and Gracie's home.
You know, Mr. Burns, you're the nicest people I ever worked for.
Well, thank you, Hilda.
Oh, geez, this Mrs. Burns is born in the kitchen. I wonder if that cake in the oven is ready yet.
Well, Hilda, I'll look at it as soon as I finish washing the dishes. Oh, Hilda, look. My cake is all ruined.
Well, no wonder. You're supposed to put the icing on the cake after you bake it.
Oh, that isn't icing. All the candles melted.
Hey, Gracie.
Hilda, let him look for me.
Gracie? Hilda, have you seen Mrs. Burns?
George, look in the gymnasium.
Gracie, come on out. Come on out of the kitchen.
I'm coming.
What have you been doing in there for 2 hours?
Well, I washed the dishes, peeled the potatoes, and I baked a cake, and the whole cake...
Gracie, we've got a maid. Why are we paying Hilda?
Well, I don't know. She gives all her money to her sweetheart, Olaf.
Oh, stop with that, Olaf.
Hudson.
Hudson? The idea of you doing all the housework.
Well, the reason is I went to Magnum's and I bought Hilda a beautiful uniform for $85, and I don't think we could afford to have her soil it.
Well, that was very thoughtful because I hate to wash uniforms.
Well, anyway, I mixed a green salad, George, and it's simply delicious.
Well, it ought to be good. Nobody can mix things up like you do.
Oh, thanks, dear.
You're welcome, darling.
Now, wait till you taste it. Lettuce and tomatoes, chives and onions, and I seasoned it with pepper and salt and plenty of vinegar and water.
Water?
Yeah.
Vinegar and water?
Well, it's a new recipe of mine. I read where Mr. Ickes is asking everybody to save oil.
Well, with a thing like that, you can get a lot more mileage out of a tomato.
Well, I always say...
Well, never mind what you always say. I'm not in the mood today.
Don't be so grumpy, George. You're still upset over what happened yesterday.
Well, why shouldn't I get upset? That's the second time the insurance doctors turned me down. They say my blood pressure is higher than it should be.
Well, why worry? In times like this, everything is going up.
Imagine those doctors turning me down twice.
Well, being turned down twice never stopped you before. You finally married me.
Well, that's right, dear. It was on a Tuesday.
Yes.
Remember how we eloped?
Mm-hmm. Remember how my mother ran down the ladder to show me how to do it?
Yes, and if she hadn't tripped, she'd have spent the honeymoon with us.
Well, anyway, dear, you'll be happy to know I made an appointment with another insurance company, and you're going to be examined again today.
Well, I'll try it again. But this time I'd like things quiet so I can be calm and sort of relax when the doctors get here. The only reason I got turned down yesterday was because I was excited. It was Lasvogel's fault, that Snoopy neighbor. Kept looking in our windows.
He's certainly a Snoopy, isn't he?
Don't say he's Snoopy. He probably knows exactly what we had on our dinner table last night.
Oh, never mind, George. It was better than that macaroni and cheese he was eating.
Yeah, especially with that homemade sauce he was using.
Yeah. Hilda, the door.
Oh, that's probably the doctor.
Oh, I hope so. You look swell.
Do I?
Stick out your tongue.
Now,
put it back. You look better with it in.
Oh, I get
Oh, hello, Hilda.
Oh, hello there, Mr. Goodrich.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Well, I was in the neighborhood, so I just dropped in. Came from the park. I was feeding the swans.
it. You feed the swans?
Oh, why, sure, George. Why shouldn't I feed the swan? Swan feeds me.
Okay, I know you made it. Look, Bill,
Bill,
will you calm down, please? Calm down.
Bill, will you calm down? George has to relax today, so don't even talk loud.
Oh, well, gee, I'm sorry.
Oh, well,
Gracie.
that's all right, Bill. Incidentally, all our neighbors are talking about Swan, even Mrs. Luxvogel.
Well, and why not? And why not? Isn't Swan the first really new white floating soap since the gay 90s?
Yeah.
And yet, even though Swan is 8 ways better than old-style floating soaps, it costs no more.
I know.
So, you see, Swan gives you more real soap for your money.
Yeah, that's right, Bill. And keep talking softly.
You bet it's right, Gracie. And once more, Swan is as white as snow, as fresh and clean-smelling as a morning in June. Swan is as pure and gentle as a baby's kiss.
Sure.
What are you two whispering about? Gracie, did you have to tell Bill that I was turned down by two insurance doctors?
George, I didn't say a word about that. We were talking about Swan soap.
You were not.
We were, too.
Oh.
And I was just going to say that Swan is not only pure and gentle, why, it's as mild as the finest imported Castile soaps.
Well, stop whispering.
I'm not whispering.
You are, too.
I'm not. Swan is swell for your complexion. It's perfect for your bath or shower. Swan comes in a green wrapper with a white swan on the front.
Go ahead, say it again.
Swan comes in a green wrapper with a white swan on the front.
Well, say it again.
Swan comes in a green
Please,
wrapper.
boy, please. It isn't right to whisper.
Trying to pull the wool over my... It's probably somebody at the door.
Yeah? The grocery boy, would you please take those bottles to the back door?
Hilda, let him in. That's our singer.
Oh.
Jimmy, stop rattling those bottles. They're making me nervous.
Yes, Jimmy. And I don't want George nervous today. Here, put them under your arm like this.
Jimmy, stop dropping those bottles. Look, Jimmy, I wish you wouldn't come to rehearsal while you're making deliveries. You find the piano in the other room.
Thank you. Would there be anything else, sir?
And you're not in a grocery store.
Oh, please, George.
Will there be anything
the
else?
doctor is coming. Relax.
Yes, George, relax. Don't let a little tinkle of a bottle upset you. You're not a nervous wreck yet.
He is, too.
I am not.
No, Bill, he is not. How can you call him a nervous wreck? And I don't understand why everybody has to keep talking all the time. Listen to me. I don't talk.
Much.
I know when to keep quiet.
Sure.
I certainly know enough to keep quiet when I'm supposed to keep quiet. I may talk a lot on the radio, but I never talk at home. And the only reason I talk on the radio is because I think it's nice to have a home.
Well, I'm going in to hear Jimmy's song.
No, George, you just sit here and be calm. Bill and I'll hear it.
Be calm. I'll never get any insurance.
Oh, why worry? If Uncle Frank got insurance, you can get insurance. You were there the day he got his.
But he was dead.
Well, you look as good as he does.
Well, thanks, Gracie.
All right, Jimmy, we're ready.
I guess I'll have to dream the rest. If you can't remember the things that we said, those nights that my shoulder held your sleepy head, if you believe that parting's best, I guess I'll have to dream the rest. I guess I'll have to dream alone of honeymoon cruises once dear to my heart, of one-room apartments where we said we'd start, of foolish things we planned to own. I guess I'll have to dream alone. I can see that your heart has gone astray. As for me, I love you the same old way. I guess I'll have to dream the rest. There'll be no friends waiting to throw shoes and rice. Those heavenly moments will never come twice. I'm thankful for the hours you've blessed. I guess I'll have to dream the rest.
Well, Jimmy, that was swell. Let's see how George likes it.
Gracie, George is
Oh,
asleep.
good. Come on, Jimmy, you better go down the back way. Be careful of those bottles. I don't want to wake George up.
I'll be careful.
And don't trip and fall. One of those steps is loose.
Which one?
The top one.
What was that?
Quiet. You want to wake George up?
I'll take a chance. What was that racket?
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, it's me, yeah.
George, Jimmy Cash fell down the back stairs with all that soda pop.
Well, it sounded like bedlam.
Oh, it was sarsaparilla.
Yes, it couldn't be bedlam. No. Bedlam comes with those paper cartons.
Yeah, 15 to a dozen.
Yeah, the tall cartons, yes. 15 to a dozen. With all this excitement, by the time the doctor gets here, I'll be a cooked goose.
Oh, Judge, can't you make Bill Goodwin happy and be a cooked swan?
All right. I'll make Bill happy. Bill, I'm a cooked swan.
Thanks, George. I'm happy.
Good. Gracie, I'm warning you. If you keep on with this talk, by the time the doctor gets here, I'm going to be a nervous wreck.
George is right, Bill. And it's your fault if he's a nervous wreck. You've got no right to be happy because George is a cooked swan. Excitement like this isn't even good for a man who's well. I'm not worried about his high blood pressure, but it's just that high blood pressure makes his heart weak.
Gracie, the doctor is
And
here.
you know he's been turned down by 2 insurance companies.
Gracie, the doctor is here.
The only way he can pass this is if the doctor is some dope and doesn't know what he's doing.
Gracie, say hello to the doctor.
How do? When a fellow's in his condition, he... Oh, the doctor.
The doctor.
Oh, how do, Doctor? Sound. I've just been rehearsing a scene that I did in a picture 2 years ago.
Bravo.
Oh,
quiet,
thanks,
quiet.
Bill, thanks.
Doctor, I'm Mr. Burns.
How do you do? Well, let's get started with the examination. But we must have absolute quiet and no excitement.
Why, Doctor? I haven't got blood pressure.
Perhaps not, but I have.
Oh, fine.
Now roll up your sleeves.
Oh, see, Judge, it's a good thing you washed high this morning.
Gracie, will you stop?
Now open your shirt. I want to put this stethoscope on your chest.
There's someone at the door.
Now take a deep breath.
Come in, Mr. Weissman. I'm so happy to see you.
Why, Hilda, in that new uniform, you look as cute as a bug in a rug. How about giving a loving hug?
Oh, Mr. Weissman. Gee, where did you learn to squeak like that?
Used to play an accordion.
Hello.
Hello, Gracie.
Paul, I wish you'd teach George how to play the accordion.
Oh, Gracie, please.
Take another deep breath.
Well, get a load of that guy with the earphone. George, I knew you were old, but I didn't know you were a crystal set.
Very funny, Paul. Loosen your belt and see if you can take a bow. Well, come on, Doctor. Let's go into the library.
Please, Mr. Burns, don't walk so fast.
You mean on account of my heart?
No, the stethoscope is stretching my ears.
This way, Doc.
Hey, Gracie, well, what goes with that Army show? My boys are all sitting outside in the bus. I thought we were going to the camp to entertain the soldiers today.
Oh, Paul, I had to call it off on account of Judge's examination today. I spoke to the captain on the phone, and I said to him, Captain, we can't come over and entertain the Army, but if you send the Army over here, we'll be glad to have them entertain us.
Oh, I see. I scratch your back and you scratch mine.
Later, Paul. Anyway, the captain said he's sending over some company. Gee.
He didn't say he's sending over Company G?
That's what he said. Isn't that cute? He called me G. That's short for Gracie. So I said, thanks, K.
I see. K. That's short for Captain.
No. For his name, Clancy.
Oh.
Paul, do you think George is passing his examination?
I doubt it. He's got a heartbeat that sounds like my drummer when he gets caught in his own traps.
Say, I just thought of a wonderful idea. Paul, if you open the window and have your boys play a number, the doctor won't be able to hear George's heart, and he'll have to give George the policy. Now, don't you think that's a wonderful idea?
Anything you say, Gracie. Hey, Lugs, get ready out there. We're going to play a little bit tango. It's a little on the Latin side. A 1, a 2.
Oh, and the whole thing is my idea. My. What's your genius to think of a thing like that?
Paul. You're the last man in the world I'd expect to have trouble with.
Oh, it wasn't my idea. I was only trying to help.
That's right, George. It wasn't his idea.
Well, whoever made that suggestion was silly. He had no right to listen to silly suggestions.
That's right, Paul. You shouldn't listen to silly suggestions. You know George is in there trying to get insurance.
No, never.
And you're out there,
Never.
lady
Look,
boy.
Gracie, will you stop helping me? Hey, you musicians out there, will you get back in that truck and go someplace?
Si esos babosos quieren ir, bueno, pero yo me quedo aquí.
No, it's the guitar player. Yeah, and I mean you too, Senor Lee.
Senor Burns, don't shout. Man with your character should keep his voice low, too.
Look, Senor, the doctor is here to take my blood pressure.
Why, couldn't you keep up the payments?
Say, Paul, when you talk to him...
Hey, guitar player, take an 8-bar rest. Burns doesn't feel well.
If he's sick, why doesn't he do like my brother in Chicago does? He eats a dozen red chili peppers a day.
12 of those red-hot peppers?
Si, senor. Comes the first snowfall, my brother will make a fortune.
How?
Breathing on sidewalks.
Hey, Senor, why don't you go?
Si, senor. Adios, hasta luego.
Yeah, and so are you. Well, this is a fine thing. And, Gracie, I'm surprised at you. Allowing a thing like this to go on when you know how much this examination means to me. Oh, now, wait a minute, sweetheart. I didn't mean to make you cry.
George, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Gracie thought she was doing all this for you.
Oh, Gracie, please. Look, I don't like to see you cry. Look, honey, you can go and get that hat that you like so much at Magnet.
It's in my closet.
Well, I'm glad you got it, but please stop crying. Look, you can go back and get that dress you like so much, too.
It's in my closet, too.
Look, you've got a new hat and a new dress. What are you crying about?
The shoes didn't come yet.
Well, all right. Stop crying. The shoes will be here in a minute.
Mr. Burns, I have other patients to see. Do you mind if we continue?
Just a minute. Stop crying, Gracie. All right, Doc. And look, Paul and Bill, do you think you can keep quiet for 2 minutes? Now, go ahead, Doc.
Well, now sit back and relax. Now, take a deep breath.
Well, those musicians are still out there. Well, I'm going outside and I'll get rid of those guys. Say, what is this? Gracie, who are all these soldiers?
Well, George, I figured as long as you had to stay in, I'd invite a little company.
A little company? Why, there's hundreds of them.
Yeah, and don't they look nice? They must all have the same tailor.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Why, there are thousands.
You can close the door now, George.
Oh, fine.
George Burns and Gracie Allen?
Yes?
Company G reporting for entertainment.
Well, look, I'm sorry, Captain, but there must be a little mix-up about this entertainment. But some other time, we'd be very happy to entertain the company, you see.
Now that you soldier boys are here, I'm going to show you through the whole house and get you some refreshments.
Gracie.
Hilda! Yeah? 130 hamburgers, one with mustard.
Well, this is the last straw. Bill, will you do me a favor and show the boys through the house?
Oh, I'll be glad to, George. Company, mark time. Try Swan, the new white floating soap, 'cause Swan is 8 ways better than any old-style floating soap. Oh, it's 8 ways better. Try Swan, the new white floating soap. Try Swan, you really oughter, 'cause Swan soap suds just twice as fast, even in the hardest water. Swan suds are so rich and thick. Swan suds are so dandy. For every soap and water task, you'll want to keep Swan handy. Forward! March! Oh, follow me, fellas, into the living room.
Well, that's a fine thing. Well, that's all I needed.
Oh, just look at that army. Aren't they the cutest bunch of boys? George, you see that tall, dark one near the end, the pretty one?
Yes.
The hamburger with the mustard for him.
Well, I hope they'll be very happy together.
So long, George. So long, Gracie. I got to go home.
Goodbye, Paul.
Well, I'll try it again, yes. Now, take a deep breath, Mr. Burns. Say, I was mistaken. Your heart is in perfect condition.
Well, certainly.
Well, it should be in perfect condition. He takes enough medicine for it.
Gracie, will you stop?
Now, I'll take your blood pressure. And while I take it, I'd like to ask you a few questions. Now, Mr. Burns, do you sleep sound?
Of course I sleep sound.
And you ought to hear the sound.
Look, Gracie, will you stop helping me? Oh, the Army is coming.
The escape of Swan is really twin. Swan breaks into so he kitchen happened that. Follow me, I'll show you the dining room.
It was a little too low for him, I guess. Yes, well, they're right in step with my headache. So long, George. So long, Gracie.
So long, Paul.
I thought that guy went home.
Well, I'll try it again.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Burns, did your mother and father ever have any phobias?
No, only boys and girls.
Listen, Doctor, I don't know anything about these medical terms, but I never had a sick day in my life. As a matter of fact, I'm always on my toes.
Yeah, and don't think it isn't hard to do with those flat feet.
Yeah. Gracie, why don't you do me a favor and... Oh, the Army is coming in here.
I've shown the boys to all the house. I've nothing more to say, except for that you really ought to try Swan soap today. Company, out. Try Swan.
So long, George. So long, Gracie.
So long, Paul.
Bye, Paul.
Say, I thought you'd gone.
You know me, brother. I'm a sucker for parades. So long.
Paul.
Hey, George, I taught the fellas here in the Army a new drill. Okay, boys, count off.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wait, better. Look, will you all be quiet for a minute? I'm dying and everybody is laughing. Doctor, I noticed that you're through.
Yes, and I've got some bad news for you, Mr. Burns. Your blood pressure is 10 points too high.
Well, to tell you the truth, Doctor, I sort of expected it.
Oh, don't be upset, sweetheart.
Well, why shouldn't I be upset? Any man would be upset. Trying to take out a $50,000 policy so he could protect his wife.
Oh, well, I don't want that kind of money. I'm not the cleverest businesswoman in the world, and if anything happened to you and you left all that money, I'd only make some silly investment and lose it. If I lost it, I'd feel awful.
Well, I guess so.
Well, sure, but now if you die, I won't have any reason to feel bad.
Well, that makes me feel very happy.
Men, to show our appreciation, let's salute George Burns and Gracie Allen. 1, 2, salute!
Hey, Doctor, George fainted.
Wait a minute. Look, this excitement has worked wonders. It's brought his blood pressure back to normal. Congratulations, Mrs. Burns. Your husband can get the insurance policy.
Well, isn't that wonderful? George passed the examination. It just shows you what a little quiet can do. Now he's strong and healthy and a perfect specimen.
Well, I got my insurance the hard way after all. Now, Gracie will sing Don't Stand There, Do Something.
There's a moon in the sky. There's a love light in your eye. Well, don't just stand there, do something. I'm falling in love. What have you got to fear? Can't you see the coast is clear? Well, don't just stand there, do something. I'm falling in love. Can't you make your mind up? Don't wait till the moon is gone. Glass will need a wind-up. For time marches on. Take some good advice. Don't you want some shoes and rides? Well, don't just stand there, do something. I'm falling in love. Girl, boy, bench top, green trees, night dark. Well, don't just stand there, do something. I'm falling in love. Eyes, lips, girl, bold. arms, charm, boy cold. Well, don't just stand there, do something. I'm falling in love. Why must I remind you? This night will be gone too soon. Guess you just resigned to make a fool of the moon. You like a cake of ice. Say, what are you, man or mice? Act as if you knew something. Don't just stand there, do something. 'Cause I'm falling in love.
Remember, folks, buy Swan. Try Swan. See for yourself if Swan isn't really 8 ways better than old-style floating soap. Lever Brothers, the makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in again next week, same time. Until then, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I Swan. Why don't you?
Hello? Are you there? Well, we're here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 ways better, Swan soap.
Yes, sir. Lever Brothers Company, the makers of Swan, the new white floating soap that's 8 ways better than old-style floating soaps, presents Paul Whiteman. Your Swanee announcer, Bill Goodwin. Our singer, Jimmy Cash. Well, I Swan, the stars of our show, George Burns and Gracie Allen. Yes, sir, it's the new Burns and Allen show, and now we listen in on Gracie at home.
Hello? Yes. Yeah, this is Gracie Allen. Who's this? Who? Well, you have to spell it. M-O-T-H? Moth? M-O-T-H-E-R? Oh, the mother. Oh, sorry, but we have all the mothballs we need. What? M-A-M. Oh, hello, Mother. How are you? What? You think this is... What? Well, hold the phone, Mother. Jimmy Cash, please, I'm on the phone. What, Mother? No, that isn't George singing in the bathtub. No, today's Tuesday. Say, Mother, how's Bessie? What? You think Mr. Peterson the butcher is falling in love with Bessie? How do you know? Oh, last night she found a forget-me-not on her calf's liver? Oh, good. You went to the football game Saturday. Oh, really? $4.40 a ticket? My, that's expensive. What? Papa made a touchdown. Oh, Papa made a touchdown at the Elks Club. Oh. Well, I'll have to say goodbye, Mother. What? A message for George? Yeah. Oh, wait, I'll have to write that down. Hilda!
Yeah, Mrs. Burns.
Go in again and get me a pencil, please. Oh, by the way, Mother, yesterday I went out in the garden and I picked the most beautiful sweet peas, but George didn't like them. Well, maybe I should have cooked them plain instead of with carrots. Oh, yeah. Well, I must tell you...
Mrs. Burns.
Oh, thanks. All right, Mother, I've got the pencil. What was that message again? Well, not so fast. Say hello to George. Oh, all right.
Oh, hello, sweetheart.
Oh, George, Mother just sent you a message. Hello.
Hello. Well, sit down, Gracie. I've got some wonderful news for you. MGM wants you to make a picture.
Really?
Yes. Mr. and Mrs. North was a big hit on Broadway last season, and now MGM wants you to be Mrs. North.
Well, I couldn't do that, George. I'm already Mrs. Burns.
I know that.
Oh, my mother wouldn't like it if I took a second husband.
I know that, but...
She isn't crazy about my first one.
I know that, too. Gracie, this is a wonderful opportunity for you. And another thing, it'll be a great experience. Then again, look at the practical side. Now, don't only think of yourself, think of me. Think of the money we'll make.
Oh, George, you sound just like you're proposing again.
Gracie, will you make the picture?
Certainly.
Well, Gracie, you've made me so happy that you can have anything you want.
Oh, will you give me my half of my salary?
I'm not that happy. Well, anyway, you're going to make this...
Hello, Bill.
Oh, hello,
Gracie.
Bill.
Hello, George. Say, what's this I've been reading in Luella Parsons' column that MGM wants Gracie to do Mr. and Mrs. North?
Is it in the paper already?
Yeah.
Say, I've got one in the den. I'll take a look. Gracie. What's that?
It's Jimmy Cash. He's rehearsing here.
Oh, yeah? Well, let me listen.
Open the door. I want to see if he made it. He did.
Say, George, Mr. and Mrs. North was a Broadway play, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, I'd like to play a part like that Mr. North.
Do you think you can do it, Bill?
Oh, do it. There's nothing to acting. Watch, I'll be Mr. North, and Gracie, you're Mrs. North.
Oh, I just can't wait. Go ahead.
Mrs. North, darling, I've something important to tell you.
Yes? Go ahead.
Darling, did you know that Swan is the first really new white floating soap since the gay 90s? And Swan is 8 ways better than old-style floating soap.
Oh, you say the sweetest things. Go ahead.
Why, for instance, darling, you should see the suds you get with Swan soap. Richer, longer-lasting suds. And Swan lathers twice as fast as any old-fashioned floating soap, even in the hardest water.
Oh, Mr. North, I'll bet you tell that to all the girls. Go ahead.
Mrs. North, darling, try Swan for washing your dishes. Try Swan for all your soap and water tasks. I love you, and you love Swan. Try Swan.
Cut. You call that acting? Why, Bill, you've got no feeling. Look, I'll show you how to do it. Ah, Mrs. North, I love you. and Mrs. North, you'll love Swan. Swan, that wonderful soap. That floating soap. Just give me a cake. That white floating soap. And I'll go alone, happy, with you. And Swan.
Oh, what a ham.
He is not a ham, are you, George?
I should say not.
Oh, George, I want to thank you for that gold locket you left on the table yesterday.
A gold locket?
Yes.
What gold locket?
You know, the one that has the picture of the walrus in it.
A walrus?
Yes.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, I have to call up MGM and tell them that the deal is okay. Say, that's funny. There's a woman talking on the other end of the phone.
Oh, let me listen. Oh, it's my mother. She's still on the phone. I forgot to tell her to hang up. You can hang up, Mother. Goodbye.
Mr. Burns, you want to hear my song now?
Well, yeah, you can start, kid, but I've got to make a phone call. I'll be right in. Operator, get me MGM Studios.
Wasn't it you wakened my lonely heart? Wasn't it you showed me a world apart? Hasn't it all been thrilling, living from kiss to kiss? And weren't you more than willing to keep it forever like this? Wasn't it you who planned each exciting day? Heaven for two, and didn't you lead the way? Wasn't it you who said our love would never die? Wasn't it you who planned each exciting day? We found a heaven for two, and didn't you lead the way? Wasn't it you who said our love would never die? Can it be you now saying
Oh, Jimmy, that was swell. Now you can run back to the grocery store and close up.
Not tonight.
Oh, I bet you're going out tonight.
Yeah.
With a girl?
Yeah.
Nice?
It reminds me of my mother.
Who is she?
My sister.
Goodbye, Jimmy.
Oh, George, did you get MGM on the phone?
Oh, yes, and Irving Asher, the producer, is coming over in 20 minutes with a contract for Gracie to sign.
Well, gee, that's wonderful, George. It sounds exciting.
Well, it is.
Imagine Jimmy Cash going out with his sister.
Gracie, I'm talking about the picture.
Oh, that's wonderful, too.
Wonderful, and what a part that Mrs. North is. She's in every scene. She talks for hours. She says the silliest, staffiest, dumbest, craziest things you ever heard in your life.
I'm not going to do it.
It's one of the greatest, the most... You're not going to do it?
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get on that screen and say a lot of silly things. I want to act natural.
Act natural?
Well, certainly. I'm not going to have people laugh at me.
Look, Gracie...
The trouble with Hollywood, they miscast everybody. Like I saw a picture called Tom Harmon of Michigan, all about a football player. And the fellow who played the part of Tom Harmon wasn't the type at all.
The part was played by Tom Harmon.
Oh, now you see, he got the job because he was a relative.
Gracie, I've listened to you talk for years and years, and you say less than any woman I know.
That's why I can't play the part of Mrs. North. I don't talk enough.
That's because the days are getting shorter.
And then again, I don't believe that being quiet should be carried to extremes like some people do. Like I met a woman at the club last week, and I chatted with her just to be polite. And all the time I was with her, she didn't even say one word. But on the other hand...
Gracie, who was this woman?
Billy Burt. But on the other hand...
Billy Burt?
Yes.
Yeah, a regular sphinx.
Now, please, George. She's one of my dearest friends.
Gracie, this is a great part.
Not going to do it.
Hilda!
Yeah, I'm bringing the aspirin.
Yeah, that's what I meant, yes. Bill, you're a smart fella. Why don't you talk to Gracie?
Because I'm a smart fella.
Thanks.
Here's the aspirin.
Oh, Hilda, how's your boyfriend Olaf? You know, the one who always has hot set?
Please, Bill, now, Gracie, this
You're not going to do it.
Oh, I don't go around with Olaf anymore.
No?
No, you know, he was so bashful that he never even kissed me on the forehead.
Oh, well, don't let that worry you, Hilda. I went around with George for 3 years before he kissed me on the forehead. And then he went back to kissing me on the lips again.
Yes, that's because you started wearing bangs. Anyway, listen, Gracie...
Not going to do it.
Mrs. Burns, I'm sorry. I had an accident. I tore one of your towels in half.
Oh, well, that's all right, Hilda. You can use it like swan soap, half in the kitchen and half in the bathroom.
Well, thanks, Gracie.
Welcome.
Gracie, will you listen to me?
Not going to do it. So, Hilda, you gave up Olaf, huh?
Oh, yeah, I had to give him up. I couldn't understand him. He spoke with a dialect.
Well, who's your boyfriend now?
He's in the kitchen. I will call him. Come in, sweetheart.
Sí, mi vida, ¿qué quiere mi pedazo de caramelo?
Well, that's all I needed. It's Samuel Lee. You're Hilda's sweetheart?
Hutsut.
Oh, go with that Hutsut.
Senor Burns, don't be a grouch. I like to see a man with a smile on his face. In your case, I would even settle for a face.
Look, Senor Lee, Olaf happens to be Hilda's childhood sweetheart.
I have thought it all out, Senor Burns, and the voice inside of me says, Senor Lee, you are a rat if you take Hilda away from Olaf.
Well?
Squeak, squeak.
Lee, you're not the guy for Hilda. She's just a nice, plain girl.
So what? What has Hedy Lamarr got that she hasn't got?
Well, nothing.
Boy, do you need glasses.
Hilda, take him back in the kitchen. Gracie, Mrs. North is a great part.
I'm not going to do it. Oh, it's Paul Whiteman. Hello, Paul.
Oh, hello, Paul.
Hello, everybody.
Gee, Paul, you've taken off some weight.
Yes, and I've got to take 10 more inches off my waistline.
Really? Why?
So I can get close enough to the table to reach the food.
Well, you look great, Paul. Just drag up a loading platform and sit down. Gracie, the producer is going to be here.
I'm not going to do it.
Look, honey, don't think that I'm trying to bribe you. But you know that beautiful calico coat that we saw at Magnan's? The one you like so much?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd like to see you buy it.
Well, then you should have been with me yesterday.
Gracie. MGM doesn't offer these parts.
Not going to do
No,
it.
not going to.
Hey, I hate to change the tempo, but when I was here yesterday, I left a gold locket on the table. It was for Mrs. Whiteman. It's her birthday today. May I have it?
Oh, so that's the locket Gracie was talking about. Paul, was that your locket?
Yes, my picture was in it.
Oh, yes, the walrus. Gracie, where's the locket?
You mean the locket?
Yes, the locket.
You mean the gold locket?
Yeah, the gold locket. Where's the locket?
Well, you never can tell when something might be missing, and if it is, I didn't do it.
Gracie, don't...
Hey, today is my wife's birthday. Don't tell me it's lost.
Well, it isn't exactly lost. What happened was, I was sitting and knitting some backless sweaters for soldiers, and all of a sudden...
Backless sweaters?
Well, yes, they asked me to knit sweaters for the boys at the front.
What about the locket?
Well, I'm coming to that. And all of a sudden, a burglar climbed through the window.
A burglar?
Yes, the town's full of burglars. They're here for a convention, I guess.
Yes, I read about it in the papers.
You did?
Yes.
Then you believe this story?
Oh, sure I do.
Oh, boy. Wait till you hear the finish. A burglar came in a half an hour ago, took the locket, hit me on the head, and I was unconscious for 5 hours.
You were, huh?
Why, Gracie, according to that story, you'd be unconscious right now.
That's right. That's why I think she's telling the truth. Gracie, where's the locket?
Oh, I'm awfully sorry, Paul. I thought George left that locket there as a surprise for me.
Well, where is it?
Well, you know that antique shop around the corner?
Yes.
I traded it in.
You traded it in?
But, Gracie, how could you think it was your locket? Didn't you see P.W. engraved on it?
Well, yeah, but, Paul, I thought the engraver had an impediment in his speech and pronounced my name Tracy Wallen.
Gracie Wallen? Well, anyway, what did you trade the locket for? I mean the locket. What did you trade it for?
Well, I traded it in for this musical powder box. Look.
But that locket was an heirloom.
Yes, but this musical powder box is a genuine antique. It's 150 years old, and when you lift up the lid, it plays music. Listen.
Oh, Daddy. 150 years old?
Yeah, no, Daddy.
An old Daddy, huh? Close it. Close it.
Come on, Gracie. Let's go over to the antique shop and get my locket back.
All right, Paul, let's go.
But, Gracie, the producer is coming with the contract.
I won't do it.
Gracie, you're staying in the house.
I won't do it.
Gracie, you're staying here.
I won't do it.
You will.
I won't.
You will.
I won't.
You will.
I won't.
You will.
I won't.
You will.
Paul Whiteman and the orchestra playing The Waltz of the Flowers.
is great. A producer from MGM is coming to our house, and here we are in front of an antique shop.
Oh, now, boys, I better go in alone. If we all go in, he might think the locket's very valuable, and even though it's worth nothing, he might double the price. And double or nothing is $64, and it's certainly not worth $64, so I think the best thing for me to do is to go by myself.
Now go in, and if you're not out in 2 minutes, I'm coming in to get you.
All right. Now, don't go away.
Oh.
How do you do, madam? Aren't you the lady who swapped the locket for a musical powder box?
Well, yes, and I'd like to swap it back for the locket.
Oh, gladly. But can I keep the picture inside?
Do you like it?
Oh, yes. It'll make a wonderful design for a poker chip.
Oh, well, here's your powder box. Will you wrap up the locket?
Gladly.
Oh, my, you have lovely things here. Isn't this adorable? A statue of a woman with a clock in the center of her forehead.
Madam, this is an exact reproduction of Venus de Milo.
Oh, the poor thing. She has no arms. How does she keep the clock wound?
Well, I couldn't say. My partner will be back later.
Well, wrap it up.
Gladly. Well, here's your locket all wrapped up in a little box for you.
Oh, thank you.
Gladly. Who's that?
Oh, that's my husband knocking on the window. If he thinks I'm going home to sign that movie contract, he's crazy. I'll stay here all day even if I have to buy the whole store.
You mean you've got a chance to be a movie star and you don't want to?
I should say not. If I'm a movie star, I'd have to put my footprints in cement in front of the Chinese theater.
Well?
Well, if I got lost in the woods, then no one could find me because I wouldn't have any footprints.
Yes, I see. Well, here's your clock, madam.
Here they come.
Gracie, what's taking you so long?
Well, I just bought the prettiest clock. Here, hold it.
All right, Gracie, the producer is waiting.
I'm not going to do it. Here, George, put this little box in your pocket.
But, Gracie...
Oh, mister, what a beautiful vase.
Oh, fine.
That's an antique.
You'd never know it.
Well, the older they are, the more valuable they become.
You know, if I were you, mister, I'd get a younger clerk in here so it'll make your antiques look older.
Now, look,
Gracie, I'd like to give that locket to my wife for her 27th birthday. And that happens to be today.
Oh, really, Paul? Well, you ought to buy her a present.
Gracie, we've got to get home.
Not going to do it.
Madam, that vase you admired is a genuine Ming vase.
Ming vase. Wrap it up.
Gladly.
And, George, you have to buy me a coat to match it.
Oh, a Ming coat.
Yeah.
I thought so, yeah.
Oh, and my, what a beautiful antique bed. I must go over and see it.
George, you'll never get her home to sign the contract.
Well, what can I do, Bill?
You better do something. I'd like to give that locket to my wife for her 35th birthday.
Well, I'm trying to get it, but I keep getting sidetracked.
Well, don't let yourself get sidetracked. I'll show you how to get it. Watch me. Hey, mister.
Yes, sir?
Now, look, that gentleman over there happens to be Paul Whiteman.
Paul
and
Whiteman?
yesterday,
Why,
yes,
my,
and
he put on some weight, didn't he?
Anyway, this
lady...
lady...
You know, I've been listening to Paul Whiteman for years, and I just love him on that new radio show.
Never mind the new radio show, and never mind Paul Whiteman. This lady came in...
Is it true about that soap? Does it really do all they say?
Never mind about the... Is it true?
There we go.
Why, listen, Mr. Swan is even more than they say. It's a brand new kind of white floating soap. 8 ways better than old-style floating soap.
Bill, don't get sidetracked.
Don't worry, I won't. Why, Swan is whiter. It smells fresh and clean. And Swan soap is pure and gentle, as mild as the very finest imported Castile soaps.
Oh, Bill, I'd just love to hear you talk, but talk slower. I'm in no hurry.
Oh, well. Swan soap is so mild, it's ideal for bathing the baby.
Bill, don't forget it's my wife's birthday.
Congratulations. And remember, each cake of Swan is really twins. Break Swan in 2. Use half in the kitchen, half in your tub or shower. Try Swan. It comes in that cool-looking green wrapper with the white swan on the front. Now, you see, George, nobody sidetracks me. When I
know,
talk
Bill.
about
I
a
heard
subject,
it. I was here all the time. Now, look, I've got to get Gracie home to sign that contract. Look, Gracie.
I'm not going to do it. What did you say that bed was?
Well, this is great.
It's genuine antique. Why, George Washington slept in this bed, and so did Thomas Jefferson, and so did James Monroe.
Who slept in the middle?
In the middle?
Wrap it up.
Gladly.
Gracie, please get that locket. I'd like to give it to my wife on her 48th birthday.
Gracie, the producer
I'm
is...
not going to do it, mister. What's on the third shelf?
That's dust.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Quiet. Look, mister, I've had enough of this.
Oh, well, look who's Hello. Oh, it's Elsie Myers, who lives across the street from us. Hello, Elsie. Hello, Gertrude. My name is Gracie. Oh, yeah, I must remember that. Say, Gracie, is that big antique moose head yours? Yeah, we've been married for years.
I knew that barber gave me a bum haircut.
Well, I just dropped in to get an ashtray for my husband. What's his name? Frank. Oh, yeah, I must remember that.
Gracie, get that locket. I've got to get home with it before May Robeson leaves me.
Now, I'm going to settle this. Mister, where's that locket that my wife traded?
Why, I gave it to her a half hour ago.
You did?
Gladly.
Gracie, where's the locket?
I gave it to you. It's in your pocket.
In my pocket?
Gladly.
Gladly. Look. Well, come on. Let's go. Oh, here it is. Here it is, Paul.
Oh, goodbye. Oh, Elsie, you remember Bill Goodwin. You met him last week. Oh, yes. He sells duck soup.
Swan soap.
Yeah, must remember that.
Well, come on. Let's go.
Bye.
Goodbye, boys.
Bye.
Well, come on, Gracie. Let's hurry home. I hope that producer is still here.
Come in, Senor Burns.
Hey, Lee, why are you opening the door? Where's Hilda?
She's upstairs putting my clothes in the guest room.
You're going to live here?
Why not? If you can stand this house, I can.
Hey, Lee, is there a man in here waiting for me?
He left a half hour ago.
I knew this would happen. Now, the whole deal is probably off.
George, would you like some homemade cookies from the May Company?
No. After working for weeks trying to get you that part, and such a great part, and such a great picture, and such a great story. You...
Hello? Who? Yes?
Who was that?
Mr. Lassvogel.
Oh, that snoopy neighbor who's always looking in our windows. Gracie, hang up.
What? Oh, thank you very much. Goodbye. George, Mr. Lassvogel said that the man who was here smoked 2 of your cigars and left a note on the piano.
That guy knows everything. Always looking in our windows. Say, Gracie, look at this. Dear George, I waited as long as I could, but we'll be back tomorrow to have Gracie sign contract. Mrs. North will be a wonderful part for Gracie.
Not going to do it.
I know that it's a perfect part for her because all Gracie has to do is be herself. Signed, Irving Asher.
Be myself? Well, that's different. Now I'll do it.
I thought so, yeah.
Well, I thought they wanted me to play a dizzy dame like Betty Davis and the Little Foxes.
Betty Davis and the Little Foxes is a dizzy dame?
Well, sure. Any dame that would kill Herbert Marshall must be dizzy.
Well, I guess so.
Remember, folks, buy Swan. Try Swan. Get Swan at your dealers today. See for yourself if Swan isn't really 8 ways better than old-style floating soap. Now, once again, George and Gracie.
Hello?
Oh, hello, Gracie. This is Mrs. Whiteman.
Ask her how she liked the locket.
How did you like the locket Paul gave you?
Well, I traded it in.
Well, I don't blame you. For what?
Listen.
Good night, folks.
The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in again next week, same time. Until then, this is Bill.
George, how many lumps do you want in your coffee?
2. Thanks.
Is there anything interesting in the paper today, or is it just news?
Just news.
Say, you're lucky to have the paper. Mr. Lassvogel's dog is always chewing it up.
I wish that Snoopy neighbor would keep his dog away from here.
Yesterday morning, he bit little Orphan Annie in the funny section.
Well, he better not bite Superman.
How many lumps do you want in your coffee?
2. Thanks.
George, did you take the little duck for a walk this morning?
Gracie, last week that duck hunting trip cost me plenty. And I just as soon not have that web-footed headache around here.
Oh, he's so cute. He even comes when I call him. Here, ducky, ducky, ducky.
Oh, get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh, now you frightened him.
Frightened him? I'd like to fricassee him.
Oh, now. Come here, little ducky. Oh, don't listen to that mean old daddy duck. Don't worry, little ducky. He's not really your daddy.
Well, that's a break for me, too.
George, how many lumps?
2. Thanks.
You know, little Henrietta understands every word we say.
Now the duck's name is Henrietta?
Yes.
Yesterday his name was Herman.
I didn't buy those eggs you had for breakfast.
Thanks, Henrietta.
Now, you see how smart she is, George. She can spell, too. Go on, Henrietta, spell cat. There you are, C-A-T, period.
Nice spelling. Okay, I'll take that silly duck out for a walk again.
But you haven't had your coffee yet, George. How many lumps?
2. Thanks. Oh, boy. This coffee is awful.
Why, what's the trouble?
Too cold. Come on, Henrietta, let's go. Hello, Bill.
Hello, George.
Gracie is inside. I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, a duck with a harness on. Are you kidding?
Come on, Henrietta. Come on.
Well, I still can't believe this. Gracie, look at him through the window. Doesn't he walk with the cutest waddle?
Well, sure, that's why I married him.
You know, that's the most ridiculous sight I've ever seen. A grown man walking down the street with a duck on a leash. People must think he's crazy. He should get a swan.
Why a swan?
Shall I tell her?
Oh, Bill, I'm certainly glad you got here. I'm in a terrible mess, and I need help.
Well, Gracie, what is it?
I got a letter from a boy who used to be my sweetheart when I went to school, and I'm afraid to show it to George. You know how jealous he is.
Oh, well, that's nothing. I'll fix it. Hey, George.
Yeah, Bill.
Come in here, will you?
Wait till I drive the duck to this fence.
Now, don't worry, Gracie. Leave everything to me.
All right.
What is it, Bill?
Say, George, you're a smart fella. Now, if Paul Whiteman's wife, say, got a letter from a boy who used to be her sweetheart when she went to school, what do you think he ought to do about it?
Why, nothing. That's kid stuff.
Okay, Gracie, read the letter.
What? A letter?
Dear Gracie, I'll be in town today, and we'll phone you before I drop in and see you. We haven't seen each other since our school days, and it might be fun. Signed, Keith Fowler. P.S. Remember that rainy afternoon?
Gracie, what happened that rainy afternoon?
It rained.
What happened after that?
It cleared up.
Who is this fellow?
Keith Fowler?
Yeah, Keith Fowler.
Oh, my girlhood sweetheart. Oh, Judge, he was wonderful. I'll never forget the day I met him. Such old world charm, so devil-may-care, so smooth, handsome, yet intensely masculine.
How old was he?
6.5.
6.5?
Yes, but he had the mind of a boy of 7.
Well, what am I getting excited about?
Sure, and you were worried about that rainy afternoon.
When Keith was 19.
19?
Yes, and boy, oh boy, was he an athlete.
Oh, he was an athlete. Huh?
Yeah, well, you know where you have that vaccination mark on your arm?
Yeah.
That's where he has muscles.
Oh, yeah? Well, what's wrong with my arm? Look at it.
Oh, that reminds me. I better tell Hilda to make some spaghetti for dinner.
Spaghetti?
Hilda!
Say, Bill.
Yes, George.
Look, now that Gracie is gone, you can do me a favor.
Yeah.
When this Fowler guy gets here, and if he starts talking about athletics, I know nothing about it. So will you please change the subject?
Well, George, that would be very rude.
Well, you can do it subtly. For instance, I'll show you. Go ahead. Stop talking about athletics.
Well, okay. Well, now take Greg Rice of Notre Dame. There's an athlete. There's a fella.
Hey, Bill, where'd you get that suit?
Oh, you like it, huh?
Well, I don't like it, but I changed the subject, didn't I?
Well, gee, George, you did at that. Now, go ahead, do it again, and this time I'll try to stick to the subject.
Well, go ahead, stop.
Well, right now, Greg Rice holds the indoor record for 2 miles.
Oh, that swan soap.
For 3,000 meters.
It's a white floating soap.
For 3 miles.
It's a good soap.
And no other... Good. Is that all you can say for Swan?
Say, Bill, I did it again.
Why, Swan is the first really new white floating soap since the gay 90s.
See how easy it is to change the subject?
Why, Swan is 8 ways better than old-style floating soap.
I guess it's not so easy.
Good, he says. Why, Swan lathers twice as fast, even in the hardest water. Swan gives you loads of thick, creamy suds.
Now it's practically impossible.
Swan costs no more than old-fashioned floating soaps, yet Swan gives you more real soap for your money.
That's a nice suit you got on, Bill.
Your family will like Swan for washing the dishes, and Swan is great for silk stockings and underthings. It's so gentle and sudsy, and it holds the record for 2 miles.
For 2 miles?
How do you like that? I switched myself off the subject.
Well, I can't understand that.
Hey, George, did anybody drop in, say, like, for instance, Keith Fowler?
Gracie, don't mention that man's name.
Oh, George, don't get upset. Keith is just a boy I went through school and high school with. I did have a crush on him, but so many things started to happen that I lost track of him.
Well, what kind of thing?
Oh, just awful, terrible things. My father went bankrupt, we lost our home, then we had to move to another city, then we were dispossessed.
Just one calamity after another.
Yeah, then I married you.
Well, I've heard enough. I'm going up to my room.
Did I say anything wrong? George!
Paul Whiteman and the orchestra playing High Neighbor.
Silly locking himself up in his room. All on account of Keith Fowler.
Say, Gracie, what really happened on that rainy afternoon?
Well, I'll tell it to you, Bill, if you promise not to tell George.
Well, I promise.
Well, what happened was... here comes George. I'll tell you later. I wouldn't upset him for the world, so don't even mention Keith.
All right.
That's a pretty tune you're whistling, Keith.
Keith!
I mean...
Now, look here, Gracie. If you think for one moment that I give a rap about that silly love affair you had in school, you're crazy.
Well, no wonder you're upset. You didn't have your coffee this morning. Hilda, bring Mr. Burns some coffee.
Calling me Keith.
Oh, stop pouting. Stop throwing rubbish out the window.
It's not rubbish. I'm throwing some bread to the duck. You're welcome.
George, you're getting excited for no reason at all. This is something you've built up in your own head, and there's really nothing in it.
Sure, I'm wrong. I'm always wrong. Everybody is right except me.
Hello? What? Oh, sure, I'll be glad to. Goodbye.
What is that? Why did you open the window?
Mr. Lashvogel said he couldn't hear the fight.
Well, this is fine. Where's my coffee?
¿Sabes que Gil está ocupado en la cocina, por eso me mandó...
Senor Lee, I told you to stay away from this house. And if that Hilda keeps on letting you in here, I'm going to fire her.
That is no way to talk about a girl who is out there right now working her fingers to the bone, washing shirts and socks and handkerchiefs.
Gracie, she shouldn't do all that washing.
You want me to go around dirty?
Another word out of you and out you go.
Senor Burns, you should hold your tongue. And it is always outward you can grab it.
Well, get back in the kitchen.
Qué barbaridad con este cara de chango. No voy a poder estar en
Well, someday I'm going to buy a Spanish dictionary and find out what that guy is saying.
George, come here.
What is it, Bill?
Now, listen, don't get upset. Keith Fowler mentioned in his letter that he's going to phone before he gets here.
Yeah.
See? Well, as soon as the phone rings, I'll answer it and get rid of him.
Oh, well, thanks, Bill. That'll be great.
Okay.
Gracie, forget the whole thing. I'm not mad anymore. It's all over.
I knew I'd see it my way.
Bill,
Gracie,
grab the phone.
I'll take the phone.
All right.
Hello? What? Who? Oh, sure. We're expecting you. Come right over.
Why, you double-crossing...
It's Jimmy Cash.
Oh.
Oh, so, George, you're not mad anymore, huh?
No, I wasn't mad. I was only kidding. I can hardly wait to meet Keith. Isn't that right, Bill?
Yeah, he'll get a big kick out of George.
He certainly will.
George, you like Keith. He was not only the best athlete in school, he also had a beautiful singing voice. Every day when he walked me home from school, he'd sing Yippee-Ki-Yay to me. I lived 3.5 choruses from school.
3.5 choruses, huh?
Well, it was really a little further. He used to hold the last note.
Yippee-Ki-Yay. That's my favorite song, too.
Oh, and George, you're really not angry about what happened that rainy afternoon?
Yeah, probably nothing.
Oh, of course it was nothing.
Sure. Gracie, really makes no difference if you feel like telling me, all right, but what really happened that rainy afternoon?
Well, I promised Keith not to tell.
But, Gracie, I'm your husband.
But it isn't fair to break a promise, George. You wouldn't like it if you were my sweetheart.
If I were your sweetheart, Gracie, don't ever speak to me again.
Say, George, would you like some sugar for your coffee?
Bill, tell her I don't want any.
Gracie, George said to tell you he doesn't want any.
Well, tell him he's not going to get any.
George, Gracie said to tell you you're not going to get any.
Well, tell her thanks.
Gracie, George said to tell you thanks.
Oh, tell him welcome.
George, Gracie said to tell you welcome.
Here comes Whiteman up the front steps.
Hey, ouch, my God. What's the matter, Paul? That duck out there just hit me on the ankle. Oh, now, don't be silly. A duck has no teeth. Well, I don't want to be gummed to death for no duck.
Hello, Paul.
Say, Bill, will you tell Mr. Burns to tell Mr. Whiteman not to say such mean things about poor little Henrietta?
Sure, George. Gracie said to tell
I heard her, Bill. And tell Mrs. Burns she can tell Mr. Whiteman herself.
Okay, Gracie, George said to tell you.
Yeah, I know, Bill. And, Bill, tell Mr. Burns to ask Mr. Whiteman to sit down.
George,
Never mind, Bill, never mind. Mr. Whiteman wants to sit down. He's smart enough to figure it out for himself.
Hey, what's going on? Are you kids playing? Are you playing a message from Reuters?
Well, we all acting like a bunch of kids. Bill, tell Gracie I'd like to kiss and make up.
Hey, wait a minute. I want to get in this game, too. Bill, you tell it to me, and I can tell it to Gracie?
Oh, shut up.
Oh, let him play,
Oh.
George. Paul, George told me to tell you to tell Gracie that he'd like to kiss and make up. Gracie, George told Bill to tell me to tell you that he'd like to kiss and make up.
Would you mind repeating that question?
You heard him. I told Bill to tell Paul to tell you that I'd like to kiss and make up.
All right. Then you kiss Paul, and Paul, you kiss Bill, and Bill, you can kiss me.
Gracie, don't ever speak to me again.
What did I do now? George!
Say, here comes Jimmy Cash up the walk. Gee.
Hello, Jimmy.
Ouch, that duck must be a wash duck. You too, huh?
Oh, wait a minute. I know what we'll do. Let's have Jimmy sing a song, and that'll soothe George's nerves.
Hey, you know, that's a great idea, Gracie. George, come on down. Jimmy Cash is here. He's going to sing a song.
Well, maybe I was acting like a kid. Go ahead, Jimmy, sing.
While I'm smoking my last cigarette, sing that cowboy song I never will forget. Yippee-ki-yay!
Yippee-ki-yay!
Now, what's the matter with them? Go ahead, Jimmy.
The sun's almost set, and I'm smoking my last cigarette. Come on, old saint, this time we're traveling alone. Gonna meet her where the good green pastures are grown. Oh, twilight and purple hills fade. From a campfire comes a cowboy serenade. Yippee-ki-yay, the sun's almost set, and I'm smoking my last cigarette. Yippee-ki-yay, yippee-ki-yay,
Now, look here, Jimmy Cash. If you think that was a smart thing to do...
Bye.
It's a good thing he's gone. Where's Gracie?
Well, she went to her room.
See, I brought this whole thing on myself. She's probably in there crying her eyes out. Somebody ought to punch me in the nose. Wait a minute, fellas. It's only an expression. Gee, I didn't mean to hurt Gracie's feelings. Hey, Bill, that's probably that guy.
Well, don't worry, George. Leave it to me.
Well, just brush him off.
Yeah. Oh, hello? You're right, George. It's the rainy afternoon.
Well, brush him off.
Okay, don't worry. Yes? No, they're not home.
Attaboy, Bill.
How do I know when they're coming back? Maybe never.
Attaboy, Bill.
No, I'm not her ugly husband.
Well, hang up on him, Bill. Hang up.
I tell you I'm not. I'm Bill Goodwin.
Well, just hang up on him, Bill.
Oh. Oh, well, you recognize my voice, huh? Well, thanks. Sure. Oh, honest, it really is 8 ways better than old-style floating soap. Yeah, sure is. Swan is the first really new white floating soap since the gay 90s. Swan, S-W-A-N, Swan.
Bill, the brush. Give him the brush.
Uh-huh. Swan smells so fresh and clean, and it's so pure and gentle. Why, do you know it's as mild as the finest imported Castile soap? Oh, sure, it's perfect for bathing the baby.
Oh.
Yes, you see, well, each bar of Swan is really twins. You just break it in two and use half in the kitchen for dishes and cleaning and half in the bathroom for your tub or shower.
The brush, Bill. Give him the brush. Just brush them off. Brush them off, Bill. Just brush them off.
George, I can't hear him.
Give him the brush.
Quiet. What? Oh, Swan comes in that cool-looking green wrapper with a white swan on the front. I tell you what, look, old man, if you're not doing anything right now, come on over and I'll tell you more about it. Yeah. So long, pal.
Well, didn't I tell you I didn't want that fellow in the house? When that Keith Fowler gets here, I'll break him in two.
Yeah, use half in the kitchen and half in the bathroom.
All I'll be listening now is to quarterbacks and fullbacks and broad jumping and hurdling.
Pardon me, Senor Burns. I came to get the dishes.
George, you want to do something that'll take the wind out of that Fowler sails?
Yes.
All you've got to do is, when he gets here, is to tear a telephone book in half.
But, Paul, I can't tear a telephone book in half.
How about one from Glendale?
Oh, stop being funny.
Perdóname, Senor Burns. If you want to get strong quick, here's a wonderful exercise I read about.
I'm not interested.
It is easy. Look. First, I stand perfectly straight. Now, I lift my left leg out in front of me like this. Now, I bring my right leg up beside it like this. Ow! Now that I think of it, that was an arm exercise.
Well, crawl back into the kitchen.
Hey, George, listen, Paul may have a pretty good idea with that telephone book. You see, get a razor blade and cut all the pages down the center except the cover.
Yeah, and that Fowler will think I can really tear it in half.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go get a phone book.
Well, good, but don't let him see you.
When he comes, I'll get right behind this curtain.
Okay. As much as I'll enjoy showing off in front of this guy, I still feel like a heel with Gracie up in her room, broken-hearted, crying her little heart out.
Well, how do I look in my new dress?
What's the idea of getting all dressed up?
Oh, am I? Well, I didn't notice it.
Not much.
Well, I just happened to put my hand in my closet, and this little old thing kind of stuck to my fingers.
Gracie, what happened on that rainy afternoon?
Well, I'll tell you what happened on that rainy afternoon if you promise not to ask me what happened on the day it snowed.
Gee, maybe I'd rather hear what happened on the day it snowed.
Well, I'll tell you if you don't ask me what happened on the day it rained.
Well, all right. What happened on the day it snowed?
The same thing that happened on the day it rained, except I had my galoshes on.
Well, this is great.
How's the weather, George?
Foggy, 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 foggy.
Say, here comes someone up the walk.
Say,
Brother,
Paul.
what a pair of shoulders.
Really? Paul, are you finished cutting that phone book?
Not yet, George. I'm only up to the Classies.
Oh, well, hurry up.
What? Fowler.
Well, Gracie Allen. You're a sight for sore eyes.
Oh, Keith, so are you. After all these years. Well, it's certainly a pleasure to see you. This is Bill Goodwin.
Oh, yes. We had a word or two on the phone. Yes, we did.
And that's Mr. Whiteman behind the curtain.
Hello.
And this is my husband, George Burns.
How do you do?
How do you do?
By the way, Miss Burns, what business are you in?
The radio business.
Well, I'm glad to know that. If any of my friends ever need their radio repaired, I'll certainly recommend you.
Thanks.
Well, Keith, see, you certainly brings back old times. Remember Mrs. Mumble?
Will you ever forget how I used to carry your encyclopedias back and forth to school for you, and I'd sing Yippee-Ki-Yay over the top of them?
Oh, yes. Remember Mrs. Mumble?
Encyclopedias?
Oh, I kept my lunch in them. Remember Mrs. Mumble?
You kept your lunch in them?
Yeah, butter under B, cheese under Ch, jelly under J, and pie under K. Remember Mrs. Mumble?
Pie under K?
I was crazy about custard pie. Remember Mrs. Mumble?
Look, tell her about Mrs. Mumble.
I don't remember Mrs. Mumble. Who was she?
Why, Keith, she's the man who owned the corner drugstore's girlfriend.
Oh, sure.
Oh, fine.
Oh, Keith, I notice you're still wearing all those medals you won.
Well, not all. I've still got a drawer full at home.
Stop being so modest.
Mr. Burns, I don't think you know anything about athletics, but I was really an amazing athlete. As a matter of fact, I broke the world record for a 100-yard dash in 9 4/5.
Well, who held the record before that?
I did. Of course, Mr. Fowler, you know that the record now is 9 2/5.
Oh, you mean the one I ran in Omaha? Well, I don't know much about running, but would you like to see me tear a telephone book?
George, not yet. I'm only up to the Smiths.
Well, I'll do it a little later. Remember, Gracie, when you got that glamour girl complex and you tried to vamp all the boys?
Oh, yes. And remember the day I came to school with a rose in my teeth?
You look pretty silly.
Well, I guess I should have taken the rose off the bush.
Well, it's been a lot of fun seeing you, Gracie, but I really got to run along. Look, say, Fowler, before you go, would you like to see me tear a telephone book?
Not yet, George. I'm still with the Snipes.
The Snipes. Well, forget it, Paul.
Well, goodbye, Keith, and you certainly must come again.
I will. Say, Fowler, look, before you go, there's just one thing I'd like to ask you. Man to man, what happened on that rainy afternoon? Gracie, remember that.
I'll never forget it.
Well, goodbye. Quiet. What happened on that rainy afternoon?
Oh, tell him, Gracie. You told me.
Well, we came to a big puddle of water. Keith took off his shoes, and I carried him across piggyback.
Now, what's so funny about that?
Well, his toes tickled my ribs.
Well, I acted like a big dope, and I really owe you an apology.
Oh, that's all right, Keith. Forget it.
Keith! Gracie, never speak to me again.
Well, what did I say now? George!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ways better than Swan soap.
Jester, the new Burns and Allen Show, presented by Lever Brothers Company, the makers of Swan, the new white floating soap that's 8 ways better than old-style floating soap. Here's Paul Whiteman. Your Swanee announcer, Bill Goodwin. Our singer, Jimmy Cash. And the Swan Quartet singing Gay Ranchero.
A gay ranchero, a caballero, can always find someone to pet. A senorita, a sweet pepita, her other loves will soon forget. If he's insistent, and she's not distant, the senorita will confess. Her gay ranchero, her caballero, need only ask and she'll say yes. And on his rancho, queen of my pancho, with his pepita by his side. He thinks he's handsome, worth any ransom. To him she's still a blushing bride. Our gay ranchero, our caballero, she'll tell the world of how they met. This gay ranchero, this caballero, says he has nothing to regret. But when the story that I once was told is a little secret that I must unfold. For they found the promise that they had in store. Now they're really counting she could buy the store. A gay ranchero.
Stars of our show, George Burns and Gracie Allen. Now we take you to their home where we find Gracie in the kitchen having a talk with Martha, the new cook.
I hope you like it here, Martha. George, that's my husband. He's very easy to please, and he says I'm very simple, too. I know I'll like it here, ma'am. Well, that's a good girl. How old are you, Martha? Just 17, ma'am. My, that's young. But, of course, when I was 17, I wasn't any older than you are.
Well, I sure hope I'll give satisfaction, ma'am. You know, I ain't a very fancy cook.
No, you're not. But I say it's more important to have an honest face.
Oh, everybody says my serifs are good.
Well, that's nice. And it's important to be healthy, too. Oh, and by the way... Oh, I'll answer it, Martha. Hello? Who? Yes. Oh, you sound just like my sister Bessie. Oh, you are my sister Bessie. Ah, well, now guess who this is. No. 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 Give up? Well, this is Gracie. How's Mama? Well, that's good. And Papa? You don't care to discuss Papa? You mad at him? What happens every time you bring a new fellow to the house? Oh. Papa gives him permission to marry you before the boy gets his hat off? Oh, well, that's Papa. You remember the first time George came to dinner at our house? Papa said to him, Mr. Burns, do you intend to remain single, or would you like another piece of roast beef? And George was so hungry we announced our engagement immediately. Well, I know, Bessie, but you can't be so choosy. You'll be 26 for only a few more years. Honestly, Papa gave you 3 presents for Christmas? What were they? Oh, a hope chest, a bridal veil, and a bear trap. Oh, well, wear them in good health, Bessie. Oh, and thanks for calling. Goodbye.
Mrs. Burns, this is my first day as your cook, and I'd like to know if Mr. Burns likes lots of seasoning in his food.
Oh, by all means, Martha. So when you wash the vegetables, be sure to use plenty of bath salt.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you go right ahead with your work, Martha. I'm going in to see if Herman is through with his lunch. Here, I told George to oil that kitchen door. Hello, Herman. Oh, are you all finished with your lunch, Herman? That's good. Why, Herman Burns, you didn't. Oh, but spinach is good for you, Herman. I only give it to you because you must have iron in your system. No, I mean iron that gives you strength, not iron like in buckshot. Spinach is what builds muscles, Herman. Have you ever seen Daddy George's muscles? So you've seen them, huh? But look what spinach does for Popeye. Popeye. Oh, Herman, sometimes I think you don't listen when I read you the funnies on Sunday. Well, Popeye is the big, tough sailor, remember? Popeye. When Popeye gets in trouble, he just eats a great big bowl of spinach. And then he beats up all the villains, and that's why his sweetheart loves him. And Herman, wouldn't you like to have a girl love you? Oh, it's the door. Now, Herman, when I get back here, I want every drop of that spinach. Oh, hello, Bill. Hello, Jimmy.
Hello. Hello, Gracie. Where's George?
I sent him out to play golf for his health.
Oh, I see.
He doesn't know it, but the doctor told me that greens are good for him.
I see. Well, Del, we just dropped in on our way to the post office. Jimmy is sending his girl a present.
Jimmy, you must like this girl.
Yes, ma'am.
He's crazy about it.
Yes, ma'am.
How much do you love her, Jimmy?
Well, how much does he love her? Why, Gracie, when she buys root beer at his grocery store, she doesn't have to leave any deposit on the bottle.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, why, Jimmy Cash, you're a regular Romeo.
Yes, ma'am. And what a salesman. Gracie, you should see this kid at the grocery store.
Oh, Mr. Goodwin.
Now, Jimmy, just tell Gracie the way you sell Swan. Huh?
Well, I tell my customers that Swan is
the first really new white floating soap since the gay 90s. It's 8 ways better than old-style floating soaps. Then what do you say, Jimmy?
Well, I say that
Swan gives loads of rich, thick, creamy suds. Why, Swan suds twice as fast, even in the hardest water. That's why Swan is great for washing the dishes, and why it's swell for washing hankies and hose and lingerie. Is that what you say, Jimmy?
Yes, sir.
My, what a salesman. Jimmy, I never knew you had it in you.
Me neither.
And then for a grand finish, Jimmy says, Swan comes in a green wrapper with a white swan on the front. What a salesman. Well, we better run along now, Gracie. We're on our way to the post office.
Oh, that reminds me. I've got to mail this package, too.
Gee, that's a beautiful package, all wrapped in pink cellophane with a big blue bow. What's in it?
2 dozen rocks.
Rock?
Yes, for a friend of mine who has a rock garden.
Oh. Yeah, well, that's a nice, inexpensive gift.
Yeah, I found them in my backyard, but you'll never know it. I pasted a Saks Fifth Avenue label on every rock.
Well, goodbye, Gracie. Come on, Jimmy.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, Herman, all you've been doing is playing with that spinach. Don't you like it? You eat it. It's good for you. It'll put feathers on your chest. Oh, maybe I put too much sugar in it. Let me see if I can find some lemon. Oh, here's something in this bottle that says lemon mint. Rubbing lemon. Oh. Now, there you are. I poured it all in. Now try it, Herman. You're a very, very naughty boy, and you fly right up to your room and stay there. I don't care if I did hurt his feelings. Oh, dear, now it's the door. Mother's Day is never done.
Hello, sweetheart.
Oh, hello.
What a game of golf.
Did you beat UFC again?
Yeah, 3 weeks in a row. Boy, I'm starved.
We have a new cook, George. She's just 17 years old, and her name is Martha, and she comes from Nebraska, and she's 5'3", and she likes Ronald Coleman pictures.
Did she cook?
Oh, darn it. I knew there was something I forgot to ask you.
Well, it doesn't matter as long as she knows what kind of movie she likes. Gracie, isn't there something to eat?
Yeah, but it'll spoil your dinner. And besides, we have to go to the post office to mail this package.
Well, I can't wait for dinner. I'm going to eat this spinach. Oh, what's in the spinach? It's simply awful.
Oh, George Burns, you're just like your son Herman. You go right up
My
to your
son
room.
Herman, Gracie,
Jimmy Cash singing My Foolish Heart and I.
We're in love with you, my foolish heart and I. What a pair we two, my foolish heart and I say to my heart, you are not so smart to love one who doesn't love you. And my heart replies, I know it's not wise, but if I'm a fool, look at you. And I must confess, my foolish heart is right. When you won't say yes, why do we pray each night? Well, maybe someday we'll hear you say, darling, let's give love a try. So till then we'll pray, my foolish heart and I. Well, maybe someday we'll hear you say, darling, let's give love a try. Oh, till then we'll pray, my foolish heart and I.
Now we pick up George, Gracie, and the package at the post office. And if parcel post is 12 cents a pound, George has got a fortune on his hands.
Gracie, both my arms are going to sleep. Honestly, this package feels like it has rocks in it. I wish this line would move a little faster.
George Burns, don't you dare criticize the post office. Why, I honestly believe that if it wasn't for the post office, we wouldn't get half of our mail.
Gracie, I'm not complaining about the post office.
Well, you better not. Look up there on that wall. See what it says? Neither rain nor snow nor sleet nor gloom of night shall save these couriers from the completion of their appointed round. That's the motto of the California Post Office.
That's the motto of all post offices.
You mean they have that kind of weather in other places, too?
Well, let's forget it. The post office is a wonderful place, but this package weighs a ton, and there are still 8 people ahead of me in this line.
Oh, look, that window over there is opening up. Hurry, George. We'll be the first in line. Come on, George.
Who's first?
I am. I'd like to mail this package.
Oh, this one is for money orders. Next.
I'd like to get a money order.
Oh, fine. I better get back to that line again. Pardon me, miss. Wasn't I standing in this line?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Right in front of you?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Then I'll get back there.
That would surprise me.
But look,
You can't talk to my husband that way. If you have anything to say to my husband, tell it to me and I'll tell it to him.
Well, tell him to get to the end of the line.
George, get to the end of the line.
I was standing right here.
Back there.
Get back there.
Get back in line.
Well, I guess they want me to get back to the end of the line. Well, come on, Gracie. Come on.
Well, don't worry, George. After I tell the superintendent what happened, he'll put that woman in her place. Then you can stand in front of her.
Well, thanks.
Oh, look out, George. You get hit by that mail truck.
That isn't a mail truck.
Oh, no. Oh, hello, Paul.
Hello, kid. Well, kids, how'd you like to have some of these potato chips?
Always carrying food. Paul, you don't happen to have a tuna fish on white.
Oh, don't be silly, George. I don't carry everything with me. You'll have to take it on rye.
Okay, put a little mayonnaise on it if you're wearing your vest.
I'll see you later. I'm going over to buy $20 worth of stamps.
Well, here I am at the end of this line with this package is weighing me down. It's breaking my back.
Oh, I'm going to find the superintendent. I'll get down of this line in 2 minutes if I have to talk to him all day.
Gracie, come back here.
Come back nothing. I'm going. Goodbye.
Oh, heaven.
Oh, pardon me. Oh, I'm sorry. I knocked your bundle down.
Oh, that's all right. I guess I shouldn't be in the post office this time of the year.
Now, I wonder where that superintendent can be.
Hello, Gracie.
Hello, Bill. Did you help Jimmy mail that package to his girl?
Oh, yes, he got it off all right. See, that Jimmy's a cute kid. He was so worried because he didn't know what to give his girl for Christmas.
Well, what did he finally give her?
Well, I don't know yet. He mailed her 250 box tops and told her to send in for what she wants.
Well, George gave me a beautiful bracelet for Christmas.
Well, Gracie, Christmas isn't until next week.
Well, I won't tell him he gave it to me until next week.
Where is he now?
Right over there in line. He's the one holding the bundle with the flannel pack.
Boy, he looks all in. If the line wasn't so close together, he'd fall down. Well, I'll see you later, Gracie.
Oh, dear. Gotta find that superintendent. Oh, I've got an idea. George, come here.
Gracie, I'm second in line.
But I must see you before you get to the window.
Well, what is it?
When you get to the window, ask the man where the superintendent's office is.
Is that what you called me out of the line for?
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry, mister, but I was standing in front of you.
Get back at the end of the line.
Well, I was standing right here.
Get back at the end of the line.
Get back. Get back. Get back.
Yeah, get back.
Come on. This bundle is so heavy it should be holding me. Well, here I am at the end of the line again.
Oh, well, now don't worry. I'll find that superintendent. I'll tell him a thing or two. Oh, pardon me. Oh. I'm terrible. terribly sorry. I suppose your bundles again.
Oh, that's all right. I shouldn't be mailing all these gifts. My relatives hate me anyway.
So that's superintendent is. Oh, this must be his window. There's a big crowd here. Oh, would you let me in, please? Just for a second. Mister, are you the superintendent?
No, I'm sorry. I can't help you. I'm busy selling defense stamps.
Selling them? Selling them? Well, you ought to be buying them. Everybody ought to be buying them.
Lady, you don't understand.
You should be ashamed of yourself selling them. Don't you know how important defense stamps are and defense bonds?
But, madam,
Well, every dime, every dollar counts. The government's got to have money. But are you buying stamps? Are you buying bonds? No, you're selling them.
But, madam,
I buy stamps. I buy bonds. My friends all buy them. Everybody is buying them. But are you?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Oh, well, good. Well, that's all I wanted to know. Now let me see. Oh, pardon me, madam, but do you know where the superintendent's office is?
I'm afraid not. I'm a stranger here.
Oh, really? Where are you from?
I'm from Waterbury.
Were you born there?
Yes.
Oh, that's very interesting. Were you ever born in San Francisco?
How could I be born in San Francisco?
Well, it's easy. I was.
I'm sorry, miss, but I must be off.
Well, aren't we all?
Gracie, is George still in line?
Right there.
He is? Oh, gee, I better help him. George, I better hold that package for you before I have to hold you, too.
Thanks, Bill, but I'm next in line.
Well, here, give it to me and you stay in line.
Thanks.
Yes, sir, you're next.
I'd like to mail this package.
What package?
This bag. Bill, let's have that package.
Just a minute, George. I'm busy talking to this lady.
Well, stop talking and bring me that package, Bill.
Stop talking. I'm telling her about Swan. How Swan is the first really new white floating soap. 8 ways better than old-style floating soap.
If you haven't got a package, will you step out of line?
Bill, bring me that package.
But George, I still got to tell her that Swan is pure and gentle, as mild as the finest imported calf seal soap. Perfect for bathing the baby. Easy on your hands when you wash the dishes.
She knows that. Bring me that package. You see,
Wait a minute. If you know that Swan is really a twin bar, you can break Swan in two and use one half in the kitchen and one half in the bathroom.
Come on, step out of line, please. Next.
Give me that package. I'm going to break you in two. Now I'm out of the line again.
Oh. All right, here you are. Shucks, didn't even get a chance to tell her that Swan comes in a green wrapper with a white swan on the front.
That's too bad.
Well, don't worry, George. I'll get your place back to you. Just let me talk to this fella. Hello, handsome.
You mean me?
Yes. My, that's a pretty suit you have on.
Oh, gosh, I'm glad you like it.
And your hair is so nice and curly.
Oh, shucks.
In fact, I think you're awfully cute.
Oh, gee, thanks. But if you think your husband's getting back in this line, you're nuts.
But look here, mister. This was my place.
Get back.
Get back. Get back.
Get back. Get back. Please, get back.
Well, this is fine. There's a place for everything, and here I am again.
Well, now, George, you just stay right here. I'll find that superintendent if I have to do it myself.
Wait, lady. You don't have to bump into me again. I'll save you the trouble. Pardon me for beating you to it.
Oh, well, it's really my fault. I should have bumped into you sooner. Say, mister, do you know where the superintendent is?
Right there, the man in the light suit.
Oh, thank you. George! George! I found the superintendent.
Gracie!
I'll be right back.
Gracie, come back here. This thing is driving me crazy. I just can't...
George, are you still in the same spot?
Yeah, Paul.
Well, see you later, kid. I gotta buy some stamps.
But, Paul, you just bought $20 worth.
I know, but when I started licking them, they tasted awful. So I put some orange marmalade on them.
Oh, fine.
Then they tasted so good that... Well, I gotta go buy some more stamps. Go on.
he doesn't get his tongue caught in the canceling machine.
George, come here.
I'm fourth in line, not me.
Oh, this is the superintendent.
Yes, come here, Mr. Burns.
Yes, sir?
What's this about you getting me fired and suing the post office for damages?
I never said that.
And not only that, my husband will have you transferred to Glendale.
Gracie, please.
We'll see about that. Now, what's your complaint?
I've got no complaint. I'd just like to mail this package.
Then why aren't you in line?
I was in line. You just called me.
I didn't call you. You called me. Now get back to the end of the line.
The end of the line?
Yeah, get back. Get back. Get back. Get back. Get back.
Oh, come on, Gracie. Come on!
He's not going to get away with that.
Well, this is fine. I'm at the end of the line again.
Who does that superintendent think he is? I'm going to find the postmaster general.
Postmaster General, he's in Washington.
He is? Well, then you wait right here. I'll be right back.
Right here? Will you come back
After finally mailing the package. It cost $11 and 15 years off George's life.
Senor Lee would get back with that liniment. Can't move my arms. Gracie, instead of just standing there, why don't you rub my muscles?
Oh, George, I'm looking for them.
They're right here. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Quick, get my handkerchief out of my pocket.
Well, you're sitting on it.
Well, help me. Don't just stand there.
Well, don't worry. I'll think of something. Oh, I thought of something.
What?
God bless you.
Thanks.
Ya llegué con el alimento para los músculos. Aquí traigo algo.
Well, it's about time you got back. Senor Lee, did you get the liniment?
Sí, señor. Here you are.
Well, I better run upstairs and get some flannels wrapped around your arms.
Senor Lee, Where's the change for my $10?
Here it is, 30 cents.
30 cents? Liniment only cost a quarter.
Si, senor. Even I was surprised by the sales tax.
Do you expect me to believe that the sales tax was $9.45?
I would prefer it.
Well, I don't believe it. Where's that money?
I tell you the truth, Senor Burns. Outside, I met a poor old man. He looked so hungry, I gave him the money. I say, "Here, old man, for Christmas, buy something nice for your son." With tears in his eyes, he said, "Thank you, Carlos."
Carlos? How did he know your name?
My father shouldn't know my name?
Go on, get out of here.
Sí, cómo no, get out of here. Es lo único que dicen aquí.
Gracie, come on down here.
All right, get away from the banister. Here I come. Whee! Look, I landed on my feet. Well, for a minute.
If there's any liniment left over, I'll let you have some.
Oh, look. Here comes Ethel Wilcox up the front steps.
You mean that absent-minded woman from across the street?
Here she is.
Oh, hello, Sandra.
Sandra? My name is Gracie.
Oh, yeah, I must remember that. Oh, my, your house looks pretty, Gracie. What a lovely old hat rack. Have you had it very long?
I've been married to him for 15 years.
Oh, fine.
Say, I brought over a present for you, Gracie. Oh, now, where'd I put that thing?
Oh, it's in your hand.
Oh, yes, so it is. Well, here you are. And a Merry
Christmas.
Oh, yeah, I must remember that.
Well, thanks very much, Ethel. And I sent you a present today. I sent you some rocks for your rock god.
Oh, thanks.
Rocks? Do you mean to say that I stood in the post office for hours with 40 pounds of rocks for somebody that lives across the street? Why couldn't I take them over myself?
That's the postman's job. That's what he gets paid for. Why should I let you carry a heavy package like that?
Give me the letter. Give me that letter.
Hello, are you there? Well, we're here. And we've got Edna May Oliver with us. Bang.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ways better Swan soap.
Jester, Lever Brothers Company, the makers of Swan, the new white floating soap that's 8 ways better than old-style floating soaps, presents Paul Whiteman. Your Swanee announcer, Bill Goodwin. Our singer, Jimmy Cash. Well, hi, Swan. The stars of our show, George Burns and Gracie Allen. It's the new Burns and Allen show. And now we take you to their home the night before Christmas. The tree has been decorated, and George has gone to bed. Only Gracie and Herman, their little duck, are still downstairs in front of the fireplace.
Now, Herman, it's 11 o'clock, and it's time all good little ducks were fast asleep. Herman Burns, you go right to sleep. Well, all right. I'll tell you a bedtime story. Then will you go to sleep? Now, once upon a time, there was a little girl. She was very, very beautiful and very, very smart, and her name was Gracie. Well, one day she put on her red dress that she bought at Magnum's and took a short cut through the woods to visit her grandmother. And on the way, she met a valiant prince. The valiant prince. He was awful strong and handsome like your daddy George. All right, he was awful strong. All right, so he was awful like your daddy. But when she got to her grandmother's, the Wicked Witch... Oh, remember the night we went to the movies and saw Edna May Oliver? That's right. Anyway, the Wicked Witch ate up little Gracie's grandmother and went to bed without even washing the dishes. Yes, she was very untidy. So they lived happily ever after. Now go to sleep. No, Herman, you're not going to get a double feature. Now go to sleep. And if you're a good little duck, your mama will take you way up to the North Pole to see Santa Claus. And the North Pole is way, well, it's so far that you couldn't even get up there without a magic carpet. Well, he finally fell asleep. Oh, Herman, I'm getting sleepy myself. Oh, take Herman. Santa Claus, the North Pole magic carpet. Magic carpets are a little hard to get these days. Priorities, you know. Oh, look. There's a sign. North Pole, 3 million miles. We must be getting near Santa Claus's workshop. Oh, Ducky. You get your Christmas wish. Lots and lots of fish. Oh, Ducky. You're going to get the best from Santa Claus. Because Ducky, he knows that you've been good like little Ducky should. Oh, Ducky, he'll make you happy, wait and see. Oh, hold on, Herman. Santa Claus has quite a knack for making things you break your back for. He has a great big sack for all the toys that you could quack for. Ducky, you get a swimming pool to keep your feathers cool. Oh, Ducky, you're mighty lucky, Ducky Wucky. Oh, look, there's Santa's workshop. Hold on, Herman. Oh, my goodness, I'll have to get the brakes on this carpet rewoven. Gee, it's quiet up here. Where's Santa Claus?
Here I am.
Oh, why are you crying? You can't be Santa Claus.
Oh, sure I am, Gracie. I'm Chris Kringle in the flesh.
Oh, well, why are you crying? Did you forget to write yourself a letter?
No, the Wicked Witch stole all my Christmas toys. And now I won't have any presents to give to the good little boys and girls who brush their teeth. Or their feathers. Oh, ass and a whack, Gracie. Christmas will be a flop over.
Don't cry, Santa Claus. Be brave and strong like I am. Oh, imagine no presents for all little kitties. Or ducks.
Oh, look, here comes Aladdin.
Oh, Aladdin, good. All he's got to do is rub his magic lamp, and then he'll get us out of all this trouble.
Santa, listen, I'm in a terrible mess. Hello, Gracie.
Hello, Al.
Listen, Santa, the Wicked Witch stole my lamp. She cast a spell and made herself look like Lana Turner. Then she offered to hold the lamp while I kissed her.
Oh, that's awful.
Well, that isn't the worst of it. When she got the lamp, she broke the spell. You should see the difference between what I started to kiss and what I got through kissing.
Oh, poor Aladdin. So the Wicked Witch tricked you and stole your magic lamp?
Yes, Santa. And what a lamp. All you had to do was wish for anything you want and rub it.
Yeah?
And out came Swan soap.
No genie?
Genie? Who wants a genie when you can get Swan? Why, Swan is a brand new white floating soap that's 8 ways better than old-style floating soap.
If you rubbed the lamp and got Swan soap, what would you get if you rubbed the soap?
Suds, suds, and more suds. Why, Swan gives loads of rich, creamy suds. And twice as fast, too, even in the hardest water. That's why Swan is not only great for washing the dishes, but it's also swell for hankies and hose and lingerie.
Lingerie? What's that?
Well, come here, Santa.
Oh, really? Yeah. Up here, we wear wet flannels.
Yes, and Swan wears a green wrapper with a white swan on her flanks.
carpet is that parked outside in front of the fire club?
Well, it's mine, officer.
Well, you'd better be bogus, and I'll be giving you a ticket.
Aha! And would a big, handsome lad like yourself, all decked out in a nice blue uniform, be after giving a little Irish Callie a ticket?
That bloody will do you no good. I'm an Eskimo.
Well, come, Herman, we're going. Well, we've got to get Santa's toys back. And Santa Claus, when I find the Wicked Witch, I'll send Herman back here. You jump on his back and fly to the castle.
Oh, I'm too heavy. It's impossible for me to fly on a whittle duck's back.
Oh, nothing's impossible for a man who can be at the May Company and Bullocks at the same time. Come on, Herman, the magic carpet is waiting. Well, we're off to find the witch.
Hey there! How about a lift?
Oh, now, who's that? Oh, it's a hitchhiker on top of that iceberg. I'll pull up and give him a ride. Well, hop on my magic carpet. We're in a big hurry.
Thanks, lady. Well, I'm certainly glad you came along. What was that just passed us?
Oh, a couple of those high school kids on a piece of linoleum.
Darn those jalopies.
Oh, who are you?
Who am I? I'm the bravest man in the world.
Why, Errol Flynn. What happened to your face?
That's not my name. I'm Prince Valiant.
Oh, how do? I'm Gracie.
I'm the world's greatest hero. I fear no man. I fear no beast. Take him away. Take him away. Help! Help!
Oh, he won't hurt you. That's just my little duck.
Oh.
Herman, stick your wing out. I'm going to make a turn. You know, Prince Valiant, there's something very familiar about your face. Were you ever in vaudeville?
I still am. I just finished a split week at Lowe's North Pole.
Oh. Oh, I knew your face was familiar.
Well, I'm thinking about a new act, and I'm looking for a leading lady. Maybe you'd like to support me.
You know, there's something familiar about that, too.
I guess I should have stayed on the iceberg.
Well, I better land and find out where I am.
Oh, look. Here comes a little boy down the road.
Hello.
Hello. I'm very hungry. Have you some supper I can sing for?
What's your name?
Little Tommy Tucker.
Oh. Well, here, have a Swiss cheese sandwich. You can eat it and sing through the holes at the same time.
Thanks.
Beautiful dreamer, wake unto me. Starlight and dewdrops are waiting for thee. Sounds of the rude world heard in the day, lulled by the moonlight, have all passed away. Beautiful dreamer, queen of my song, list while I woo thee with soft melody. Gone are the cares of life's busy throng. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto me. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto me.
Gee, that was beautiful, little Tommy Tucker.
Tell me, do you have to sing for your supper every night?
Yes, or the Wicked Witch will cut off one of my legs.
Oh, she wouldn't do that.
No, she only says that to scare me. Well, I've got to be hopping along.
Well, goodbye. Come on, Herman. We've got to find that Wicked Witch. Oh, I'll tell that Wicked Witch a thing or two, believe me. You just wait till I see that Wicked Witch.
So, you would like to see the Wicked Witch, eh? Me guileless one.
Oh, hello. Nice day, isn't it?
It's beastly, but I'm hoping it will cloud up.
Little does she realize that I'm the wicked witch in the flesh. What there is of it.
Well, I'll see you later, Gracie.
Do you live around here?
Who knows where I live? One day a lonely kettle in the hills, the next a crowded city street. Today a villa by the sea, tomorrow a mountain retreat.
My, how you do it? We've been trying to break our lease for months.
I've had enough of this shilly-shallying, me girl.
Do you know, you look exactly like someone I've seen in the movies. Now, let me see.
Well, is it Annie Sheridan, or are we going to argue about it?
Anne Sheridan? Oh, no, I'm not that silly. Oh, I know who it was. Shirley Temple.
Don't be fantastic. There's a good 20 years difference between us. And a few bad ones, too.
Well, it's been awfully nice meeting you, but I really must be going.
Wait. You're looking for the wicked witch, eh? And just what do you want to see her for?
Well, because I've got to get Santa's toys back.
Oh, I see. You know what the wicked witch will do to you? She will transform you into a pain-racked mass of quivering flesh. Then wring your pretty neck and toss your body to the vultures.
Oh, you're sweet. Well, you shouldn't worry about me. In fact, I'm a little worried about you.
About me? Why, may I ask?
Well, you're all alone out here in the woods, and there might be some men hanging around.
A man where? Oh.
All over. I don't suppose you could direct me to the castle of the Wicked Witch.
Just straight ahead. You can't miss it. The walls are made from bones of skeletons, and the cornices are decorated with human skulls.
Oh, I couldn't live in a house like that.
Why not?
No barbecue pit. Well, thanks anyway.
You're quite welcome. Little does she know that I have given her the wrong direction. The treacherous swamps lie in her path. Those swamps have killed hundreds of men. Darn it.
Well, goodbye. Come on, little ducky.
Oh, what a cute little duck.
Oh, yes, he's just like my own son. His name is Herman.
Oh, indeed. Little does she know that tonight I should dine on roast Long Island Herman. Well, goodbye.
Oh, gee, she's gone. She's disappeared. Come, Herman, we've got to find Herman. Where's Herman? Herman! Herman!
Gracie, are you still in trouble, or can I come back?
Oh, valiant prince. Herman is missing. He must have been duck-napped.
Duck-napped? Then the woman you were talking to must have been the Wicked Witch herself.
Well, how do you like that? And she talks just like a Vassar girl.
Look, there's a duck feather.
Oh, and there's another one. Herman must be pulling out his tail feathers to leave a trail. Well, now we can find the Wicked Witch's castle. Come on, let's go.
Look, there's another feather.
Oh, I hope poor Herman isn't catching cold. Oh, look. Is that a blimp up there?
Hello, kids.
That's no blimp. That's Humpty Dumpty sitting on a wall.
Oh, gee, isn't he big and round? He must be at least 65 cents a dozen.
Say, Humpty Dumpty, we're looking for the Wicked Witch. Will you come and help us?
I will, just as soon as I finish eating.
Well, when will you be through?
That's funny. Somebody asked me that same question 20 years ago.
Didn't you ever do anything else but eat?
I don't know. When I get home, I'll look in my diary.
Oh, please help us, Humpty Dumpty. The Wicked Witch stole all of Santa's toys.
Oh, then I'll go with you. And I'll take along this spaghetti to tie her up.
Gosh, you don't eat that much spaghetti.
Don't worry, it won't go to waste.
Oh.
Well, I'll call all my eggs together. Wait, I'm going to blow on this lamb chop.
Oh, what do you think of that? He blew the paper panties right off the chop.
All right, eggs, we're off to get the whip. Keep your sunny sides up.
We're off to get the witch. We're off to get the witch. Hi-ho, the cherry-o, we're off to get the witch. we're hunting for the witch.
There's the witch's castle.
Well, what happened to Humpty Dumpty and his gang? My, how those eggs scrambled.
Well, don't worry, Gracie. The valiant prince will protect you. I'm not afraid.
How do your legs feel?
My legs? Fine.
Then I'll put you down. Oh, look. Herman's tail feathers lead right up to the steps. Wasn't it smart of him to leave a trail for us? If we get the toys back, he'll be a hero.
It'll certainly put a feather in his cap.
Oh, that's not where he needs them.
What a ghastly-looking castle.
Oh, wait. Here's one more of Herman's feathers. I'll pick it up and save it for him. Oh, he hasn't dropped this one yet. Oh, my, I'm glad to see you, Herman. Now, quick, you fly to the North Pole and bring back Santa Claus. Oh, and Herman, don't fly backwards. You'll catch cold.
Well, if we're going in to get the Wicked Witch, I better knock on the door. Well, she's gone. Come on, let's go.
No. Wait, Valiant Prince, I'll knock.
Oh, it's a skeleton.
Sí, soy esqueleto y tengo mucho gusto de verlos por aquí.
My goodness, Mr. Skeleton. You shouldn't walk around that way. You'll catch your death of cold. You want to get goose pimples?
On me they would not show. I am the witch's butler. Come in.
Oh, poor man. That witch must be a slave driver. Look, he's worked his fingers and everything else to the bone.
Oh, no, señorita. The work here is very easy.
Then how did you become a skeleton?
I was a heavy loser in a street poker game.
Well, come on, Gracie. The witch isn't home, I hope.
She is expecting you. Step right into the torture chamber and make yourselves comfortable.
Will we have to wait long to see the witch?
Oh, no. She just arrived. She is outside tying up her bat.
Oh, was she on one?
Si, señorita. While you are waiting, Senor Prince, would you like an arsenic and soda or a beer?
I'll have a beer.
Fine. Little does he know that the beer is spelled B-I-E-R.
Oh, my, what an adorable torture room. I'll bet she subscribes to the Witch's Home Journal.
Gracie,
Gracie.
Who is it?
It's Aladdin. I sneaked in here and got my magic lamp back, and I'm hiding in this tub of boiling oil.
Oh, well, just keep cool.
Well, don't worry. If there's any way to escape, the valiant prince will find it.
Come back from that door.
Well, it's locked anyway.
You know, the witch is not much of a hostess. She's forgotten all about us.
Forgotten you? Not at all, me pretty.
Oh, there you are. Miss Witch, I'd like you to meet my friend, Prince Valiant.
Yes, I saw him once before at a distance, and it's still a shock.
Well, we've come to get Santa Claus's toys back. May we have them?
Patience, me pet. At the moment, I have other plans for you.
Really?
Oh, quite. For the next hour, I will twist the hair down the back of your neck. I will plaster hot mud on your face. I will pluck your eyebrows out, one by one.
Oh, what do you charge for a manicure? I always pay cash.
I'll break your spirit yet. Perhaps it would be better to torture Prince Valiant first and show you how nasty I can be.
No. Please don't hurt me.
I will summon me ugly slave.
Yes, your wickedness.
Put Prince Valiant on the stretching machine. Now watch closely, Gracie, while we stretch his body inch by inch.
Come on.
Aladdin, rub the magic lamp and get some help.
I am rubbing it, but all I'm getting is Swan soap.
Swan soap? What's that?
What's that? Why, only the first really new white floating soap since the gay 90s, that's all. Why, Swan is 8 ways better than old-fashioned floating soap.
Aladdin, will you rub the lamp and get some help?
In a minute. Look, Witch. Witch, see how white Swan is?
My, how good it smells. Come, Kruskin. Turn the screws.
Aladdin, when you rub the lamp, she's going to spread.
In a minute. And Swan is pure and gentle. As mild as the finest imported Castile soaps. Just grand for bathing the baby. And so easy on your hands when you wash dishes.
Aladdin, hurry. They're going to break me in two.
They are. Swan is really a twin bar. Break it in two. And use one half in the kitchen and the other half in your bathroom for your tub or shower.
Rub the lamp.
And don't forget, Witchy, that Swan comes in a green wrapper with a white swan on the front.
Help!
Awfully noisy in here, don't you think? Would you like a cup of tea?
Oh, I'd love some, Miss Witch.
Come, let's go into my parlor, little fly. That Prince Valiant is really carrying on.
Oh, probably growing pains.
Yeah. Shall I pour the tea?
Please. Oh, my. There's nothing like a cup of good hot tea. Don't you think so?
You know, you're a most unusual person, Gracie. I may call you Gracie, may I not?
Well, of course,
Gwendolyn.
Oh, of course, Gwen.
As I was saying, you're a most unusual person. You make me feel a little ashamed of myself.
Oh, really? Oh, I just knew you had a good side, Queen. I always say that there's so much worse in the bad of us and so much least in the good of us that it ill best to behoove us to say anything. That's what I always say.
Yeah. And somebody understands you?
Oh, yes. But tell me, how did you become such a wicked person?
Naturally, a man was the cause of it all, my dear. What else can make a woman's heart feel as though it would burst? And alternately give her goose flesh and fever.
Well, speaking personally, a Welsh rabbit.
Perhaps. But I shall tell you, Miss Story. It begins some years ago at the turn of the century.
Which century?
I won't go into that. It was then that Christopher came into my life. Presently, the whole town was talking of Gwendolyn and Christopher.
Yes, go on.
Ah, what a man. He was like Tyrone Power, and just enough wise mother to make him interesting. Enter!
Pardon my rattling, Senorita Witch, but there is a man outside to see you. He is wearing a red suit and a white beard.
Oh, it's Santa Claus. Come in, Santa.
Oh, Gracie, I got you. Gwendolyn.
Christopher Kringle! You came back to me.
My little dream girl.
Ah, the love of my life. Here's your bag of toys.
Now I can make me quit Mr. Wivery.
And I'll go with you and help spread the joy.
Oh, and now all the kiddies will have a Merry Christmas after all. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, the violin first, I almost forgot him. Oh.
Gracie, wake up. Wake up!
Oh, my goodness, George. Oh, I've been asleep. I've just had the most wonderful dream. Gee, you look short.
Well, come on, let's go up. It's 1 o'clock.
Herman is still asleep. You'll wake him up.
Well, give him to me. I'll carry him up.
Oh, now you're welcome, Mom.
Remember, folks, buy Swan, try Swan. See for yourself if Swan isn't really 8 ways better than old-style floating soap. And now, once again, George and Gracie.
I want to thank Edna May Oliver for appearing with us tonight, and in behalf of the entire cast and our sponsor, the makers of Swan, I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas.
And that goes double for me.
Oh, and triple for Herman. Good night.
Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in again next week, same time. Until then, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I, Swan, why don't you?